Welcome to the club.
My club are mental, aren't they?
21 is coming. You're chatting gas.
Embarrassing.
Off, ref!
Most toxic fan base in the world are Arsenal.
Liverpool, the worst champions ever.
Welcome to the club. This is our debut episode. Thank you so much for joining us. And we are here to discuss Liverpool versus Chelsea. A massive,
Not only
mediocre
discuss it,
clash.
but watch it live.
A mediocre clash, middle of the table. Feeling good. How are you, Ed?
I'm amazing. I'm glad to be here. It's feeling like home already.
It's nice, isn't it?
Feeling snug, feeling cozy.
Yeah.
And ready to get started. I can't wait. Obviously, it's a new show. We'll have a podcast every single Wednesday, and we'll be covering live games every single week as well. Most weekends and sometimes midweek.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. How you feeling, Booth? Big
Good.
week for you.
I'm glad it's not a City game because we've been shocking last few weeks, and we could have done the United game potentially if things were a little bit, potentially quicker. And thankfully, we didn't do it.
Do you know? I disagree. Everything you said, I disagree with. So we're off to a brilliant start. No, do you know why though, mate?
Yeah.
I think that I've been saying that Arsenal are going to win the league. I've been saying that for a long time. In fact, I'll go so far as saying that I was the original, right, to say that I could see this side winning the league, and I still do think that. But I also think that the events at the Etihad against Tottenham, in fact, it wasn't the 90 minutes, was it? It was a 12-minute period in the second half.
Yeah.
Seminal moment of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Could be a season-defining. Like, we could look back on Pep Guardiola's rant as it's been positioned.
Yeah.
The goal that was conceded by Lloris.
Oh, shocking.
That could be the swinger. That could be the moment where the title changes.
I think we showed more in that 30, 40-minute spell in the second half than I think Arsenal have got the ability to show so far. Look, they've been fantastic and they've been consistent. I think you could argue they've been a 7 out of 10 consistently, whereas City have at points been an 8 out of 10, then we dropped to a 5 out of 10. But I think if we can maintain that form for the rest of the season, unbelievable chance to win the league.
It was a performance I didn't expect of City. I thought they were done and dusted, especially against a Conte team. I don't think they're going to come back into it. But this isn't a Conte team at the moment.
No.
Remember when we thought, Spurs would be turned into a Conte team? They've turned Conte into a Spurs.
Yeah.
Spurs manager almost. But
He is
I
a Spurs
found
manager,
Pep's reaction after. Is he rattled? Is
No,
he trying to rile up the fans and the
It's
team?
healthy.
And
It's healthy. I feel
is
like
everyone
Ferguson-
getting complacent at City? You
Yeah.
like booed them off the pitch.
Mate,
Yeah,
That's so-
that was embarrassing, and
But it
I've got
isn't-
a lot of comments about that. That is absolutely shocking. We said in our group chat, I said I cannot think of a context where we lost 8-0 to Middlesbrough and
No,
we
but
weren't
it isn't.
booing.
It
We
isn't
weren't booing
booing.
back. I mean,
It isn't.
Riverside,
It isn't booing in the. I don't think that when fans do that, privileged fans of good clubs, when they boo, I don't think it's always like the connotations. If I say I boo this person, we all go back to being kids at pantomime. It means that you don't like. It means that you're doing the thumbs down. I don't think it's always that. I think that what you're doing is showing your displeasure in the performance because you know that the team are worthy of so much more. You know that the performance is so much
I think
better than
booing's
what
the
you're
level.
seeing.
I think being slightly quiet, being flat in the stadium, fair enough. Right, you're not going to cheer a performance that we had in the first half against Spurs. But for me, it's all about the context of what sort of fan base you are. But for me, booing that City side, especially after winning 4
Also,
Premier Leagues in 5 years.
you got to say, I know Buvey won't say it, but you look at these fans, they've been spoilt for how long? They've
had a
it's the
decade,
most
haven't
of
they?
success they've never seen before. Yet I don't get it. Like you looked at the stadium, they were all quiet and sitting there. just
There
waiting
was.
for
Did you see
something
the
to-
clip of the Mahrez
Yeah, it
third
was
goal?
really- I know
Did you see
it's a
where Mahrez
joke,
celebrated that third
yeah,
goal?
yeah.
Like Mahrez obviously does really well, pulls the ball down, hits off a speculative shot, right foot. Lloris does what Lloris does, and it's in the back of the net. And then where Mahrez celebrates, it's probably just a very unfortunate part of the ground. And that,
Part of the ground with the family
and the
vibes
thing
and
is,
all
though,
that.
the thing is, you could do this. It's so easy, and the easiest thing for Adam and I to do here now, Booth, would be to go. City support is not partisan enough. City support, they don't have enough, and that would be so boring because it is a Premier League problem. It isn't a Man City problem. Like there'd be parts of Old Trafford that if you took a tiny section of the support, it wouldn't represent what's going on in Stretford End.
Yeah, but
if you did that at
could
Stamford
take,
Bridge,
Liverpool could go. They could take 100,000 people to Istanbul, and only 30 will get into the stadium. But they'll take 100,000 people. City don't have that luxury. We don't have the quantity of fans. The away fans for City are unbelievable. I know we all say that about United fans, whatever, but City fans away are absolutely unbelievable.
well, Guardiola said it.
Yeah, and he did say that in the thing. But whatever happened, second half something changed, and it's probably down to Guardiola. He needs to roll them up ultimately. And the lads, they came out, they were unbelievable.
Who was that aimed at more than the fans? Players?
I think it was the whole club.
He said it was the club. He said everybody needs to elevate. Yeah, he said it's the club, it's himself, it's the players, it's the fans. But he did give a bit of a dig. I liked the speech, by the way. I didn't think I liked it. I liked it because also I said this when I reviewed it on my own. Sometimes in football we like to try, or commentators certainly do this. They like to try and position things as being like the ramblings of a madman when it isn't. Like, nothing Guardiola said was a rant.
I
think when you say after a win, you're in a better position.
It wasn't
after
a rant.
Win, when you say that, I think it's more effective.
But it happened to Klopp.
After defeat. But him and Klopp are the only ones that get away with it.
Do you remember when Klopp had the argument with Des Kelly I think it was after a game against Brighton? Do you remember Des Kelly and Jurgen Klopp went for each other a bit? Jurgen Klopp fought his corner. He made his point. He was articulate. I actually didn't really agree with what he was saying, but it wasn't a rant. People did it to Cantona. When Cantona was talking about the trawler and the seagulls and all that and the sardines, it made complete sense.
Yeah, if you don't understand
it was
that,
abstract.
You're an idiot.
It was a bit abstract when it
was abstract, but it made sense.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think that Guardiola's point was pretty much bang on. He said that everybody needs to perform. He said that he gave digs as well. I quite like the way that he gave a few digs to Arsenal. Did you hear what he said about Arsenal?
Yeah.
He's like, they've only got two. The reason why everything's going mad at Arsenal at the moment, it's all going so well. They get a corner and they go mad. They get a free kick and they go mad. And he went, because they ain't won a league for 2 decades. Yeah. And he gave the dig. And then he goes, no, nobody in that team knows how to win a league. Well, my two players do. My two players.
he's doing a Fergie, and Fergie would have done that for countless managers.
Totally.
I was about to
putting
say,
the pressure on. He's
maybe
experienced.
it's a little bit similar to Roy Keane's Prawn Sandwich Brigade thing. Where you've got someone that's like, I know what this is like at its best, and this ain't it.
Yeah.
I know what this should. Everyone's getting... and I think that came just after we won the treble.
Yeah.
We were going into a game against Real Madrid almost expecting to beat them.
Yeah.
We didn't beat them. And it was like, hold on, what are you expecting from the club now? Just because you've had all these riches, you can't just expect...
Sign of a good man. It was a sign of a great manager. He's one of his top 10 of all time in terms of managerial, reckoning in football because of that ability to galvanise sides. That's why he's been so consistent.
And if it works, look, up until that point, I think that Arsenal were going to win the league. If we now see a reaction from City, if City go 2-0 up after 15 minutes against Wolves.
You though, Rory. You've got you every week.
What?
Arsenal going to win the league, or City going to win the league.
No.
Last season you said about 6 teams.
You've got a turncoat, right?
Not for one
I reckon
second.
you've already done a video saying United are going to win the
Not
league.
for one.
He's got it in his draft, hasn't he? He's got it in his draft. He's got the thumbnail ready.
Not for... by no stretch am I saying...
He's got 2 videos on his channel right now. We've got one for United and we've got one for...
I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. I think that... what Buvey said earlier, I don't agree with that either. Buvey said something along the lines of Arsenal have been about 7 out of 10 every game. I don't think they have. I think they've been...
Arsenal favourites?
Yes.
I think they have to beat United. I don't think they have to.
They're favourites already. I mean, they've been top of the league for ages.
But by what margin? 51%, 49%? Or is it 60-40? What is it?
I think I would... Look, this is what I'm saying. At one point, I would have said 60-40. I think that potentially, we don't know. We don't know the impact of the result against Tottenham. Results like that, whenever you've won the league, whenever any team has ever seen their side win the league, or not only win the league, whatever the moment is in your season, whoever you support, you can always pinpoint it. So the year that we first won the league, after 50 years, Jose Mourinho, we won the league at the end of towards the end of the season, but we actually won the league in February against Blackburn Rovers away. Arjen Robben scored and he broke his foot. That was the day that we won the league. When you look back, that's what day we won it. When we won it more recently, the Conte year, we went to. No, that was very early in the season. No, that was still August. We actually went to Sunderland and we were dreadful. We went to Sunderland around Christmas time and we won 1-0. Fabregas scored, I think, and it was Thibaut Courtois save. You're just like, how did he save that? Yeah. That was the moment.
There are always moments as well that are in January, February, but the way you remember them as being so crucial, it feels like it happened in May.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
So is that Fulham game where we beat Fulham with Ronaldo?
Yes, that was the day that you won it. That was the day.
It was quite early on.
Mate, you played early. That Fulham game. That's a great example. The Fulham game when Ronaldo scored, that was an early game. Because I was in the pub at Chelsea watching it, and we were all thinking, they're going to draw at Fulham, they're going to draw. And he scored. And we went into the ground, and we're suddenly flat. That finishes 1-1. We go into the game in a totally different way, and that is the moment that the league can be won. And I think a 4-2 win in those circumstances, Guardiola saying his piece, could potentially be differentiating
The
moment.
issue was
If you don't win the
first
league,
half
he's
was
100%.
bad. The first half
We're
was
saying he
shocking.
cracked up.
The issue is that we're still playing. We had Rico Lewis as a double pivot in midfield with
Mate, how
Rodri.
good is Rico Lewis?
He's
by the way?
unbelievable,
Let's
but you
not-
don't wanna-
let's not-
you don't
I
wanna
don't
put
think you
all
can
that
use that as a
weight.
criticism of your squad because I think against. Sorry, who did you play last? Spurs.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Against Tottenham, I think Pep's looked at your team and gone, Rico starts.
Yeah,
over
I wanted him to
Kyle
start.
Walker.
I wanted
and
him to start.
And that, Rico Lewis coming there, he's on the ball like he's
unbelievable.
been there every week.
Yeah.
But still,
Comfortable in
having to put faith in somebody.
It's a lot of weight.
I think
If it's him plus
I don't
Ilkay
think he
Gundogan,
has to,
Bernardo,
though, is my
Haaland
point.
all in form, he's the only player in form. He's the only player in form.
I don't think he has to put his faith in him, is my point. I think he's willingly doing it. He's got players on the bench that
No, but
could
there's so
easily
many
start.
players that are playing out. There's so
bad,
many
man.
Man City players that
bad,
aren't
man.
playing well. Like,
maybe
I've
not
been saying,
playing
I've been
well.
saying for ages, and it's not looking true at the moment at all. But I've rated Bernardo Silva in the world's very best. I've often said that, but I'm talking Ballon d'Or levels is how highly I've rated him. Shadow of the man. Cancelo, shadow of the man.
Yeah, he had a bad World Cup as well, didn't he? He didn't have the best World Cup.
Yeah.
But we've got the quality. Unfortunately, whether you like it or not, we've spent an unbelievable amount of money. We've got someone
Are you
like
gonna buy
Calvin
anyone
Phillips
this
to come into a
summer?
bit of form.
This
Ilkay
window?
Gundogan.
Yeah.
What's that?
Are you going to buy anyone this window?
Hopefully not. I don't want
Hopefully
us,
not.
I don't want us to. Yeah, I don't like the idea of just strengthening for the sake of it. I don't like the narrative. I think we've got a very,
You
very
think
good
you
squad.
need to?
We should be winning the league with this squad, 100 million %. 100 million. We should be beating Arsenal in the FA Cup, home and away. We should be beating United. Obviously, we got a bit.
So what
unlucky.
is the difference then? Haaland has changed your team for the worse. Is it similar to Ronaldo where he's going to score loads of goals, but your team ultimately functions worse?
When we lose the ball, and it's not even Erling Haaland being lazy or anything, but there's a difference. When we lose the ball, we're so fragile in the middle of the pitch. When Haaland loses the ball, if he takes a shot, if the link up play isn't great, there is an issue about how hard we work. When you have 6 midfielders all pressing, all diminutive kind of figures. Grealish, Foden playing as a false 9. De Bruyne was floating. De Bruyne was scoring 4 goals against Wolves, last season because he was floating. He's able to do what he's not at the same level. So it's going to be interesting about how Haaland is fitted into the system.
I think it's more simple. I think that Pep Guardiola made a massive mistake allowing Zinchenko to leave before he had readdressed the balance on the left for Man City.
It's
It's
hard.
simple as that.
You also got Fernandinho being out. It's a huge one.
Yeah.
That's big. Yeah.
Not
He
being
ca-
out, but just missing.
Finishing. Yeah.
He was being used right up to the end of his. I mean, he was being played centre back at the back end of last season, centre back in a Premier League title, and he was 37, 38. He was completely past it. Do you know what I mean? The same with
Relying on
Townsend, he was
Ake a lot more than you have done.
Ake, I'm not a massive fan of Ake. I'm not a massive fan. I think there are some players that do well, and they're not huge. Winning sort of energies in the squad. He's a good player, but he's not. He doesn't
More
feel
of
like
a
a winner.
squad
So what do you
Yeah.
reckon for City then? Do you think like he's leaning towards Arsenal winning the league now? And if Arsenal beat United, as much as I've kind of gone, I don't think they're going to win it. I would start to think actually
A draw for them is fine.
You have to keep winning.
if City beat Wolves and they draw,
Yeah.
then it's
draw- a
basically
draw
in
at Old
City's
Trafford.
hands. If City beat Arsenal twice, it's in their hands.
No, a draw at the Emirates against Manchester United is when you look
No,
over
it's not a bad result.
No, it's
but what
good
I'm
result.
saying
Today now,
I
it
think
has to be a
City
win.
become favourites if they beat Wolves.
Manchester United had won up until that Palace draw 9 in a row.
No, but City become favourites. Is what I'm saying.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No, I
Because
don't.
if City beat Wolves and Arsenal draw or lose against United, which again they might beat us, probably beat us, then I think City can. I think it's like a 6-point difference then, and City played them twice.
They need to be
Arsenal
3
might have
games
a
away
game in
from
hand,
us.
but
No, but
They need to be
all
3
Arsenal,
games away of winning.
all Arsenal need to do is match City's results. And if City are going to be as sporadic as they have been,
That's
dropping
the-
points to
that's
Brentford
the
and
point.
dropping points here, there, and everywhere,
Everton, yeah.
then all Arsenal do, they have a cushion of 6, so they can actually go to the Etihad, not worry about the result.
I think
Nick
that
a draw
cushion
is
becomes
amazing.
less than 6.
I don't know if they
that's
are-
when the pressure comes.
Are they that side though? Are they Jose Mourinho 04-05? Are they that side to go there and try and get a 1-0?
But this season they are.
They're developing, but when they went to Old Trafford, I know it's early in the season, but they got completely pulled apart in the final.
I do
20,
think
30 minutes.
Arteta fucked that though.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
learned from
he
that, but
made a mistake in that he went.
Have you seen his reaction when people put it to him that he made a mistake that day? Because I agree. I think that Arteta's got everything spot on this season, but he made a mistake there because he went when they went 2-1 down. He went for it and ultimately paid the price. He went to attacking and made a mistake. He's livid at the suggestion that was an error. He'd say, if he was here now, you'd be in it.
'Cause
If he's
him-
in the comments, you're getting it.
He probably thinks I'd have him anyway, but he probably thinks like I lost against Man United at Old Trafford. Like,
But
how
played,
you-
but
why are
outplayed
you
him.
having a go at
But
me? Do you know what
outplayed
I
him
mean?
as well.
Do you know what I mean?
And outplayed him.
Yeah. So I can kind of see where a manager would come from it from. But I thought because there was a period in that game, I was at that game, where it felt like, Arsenal.
Do you remember when you did that to them before? Do you remember that year that David De Gea, must have been like 2017, David De Gea had the game of his life against Arsenal. You beat them 3-1.
At the Emirates.
You beat them 3-1, and they had like David De Gea made 15 wicked saves or something.
I remember one from Lacazette and Sanchez.
Yeah.
I think that was at the Emirates. That was a huge game.
Yeah, David De Gea had the game of his life.
I think Arteta will have issues with. He's come from the Guardiola school of thought of every way we play has to be the same way. Total football in a sense, attacking football.
So
whether we're 1-0 down, 1-0 up. I don't know if they've got the ability. If they get an injury to Partey, they'll keep trying to play like that with El Neni in midfield. Do you know what I mean? And if Gabriel gets injured, it's been immense. So they don't have the squad. Don't forget, it's a squad game. We're just over halfway through the season.
Trossard?
Trossard's a fantastic. What a signing that is.
Do you think?
That's
Unbelievable.
a huge
25
Let's
mil.
finish the chat on City before we move on to Arsenal, because we'll talk about Arsenal in a bit. Haaland, what does City need to do to improve this season? Or
They needed to listen to me early on, didn't they?
What, not signing?
I was a truth teller. I saw it before anyone else.
It's hard. I think if you can, all we have to do is tweak 5% of the midfielders around, and we have to have more energy in midfield. For me, it's put Phil Foden in midfield. You can see there's an issue there. We're putting Rico Lewis as an inverted fullback in midfield. So Guardiola, he's noticed there's a lack of mobility, a lack of energy in midfield. We used to get that from Bernardo Silva. He wants to leave. He's kind of indicating he wants to leave.
Do you think something's happened with
Foden? We have to find
Foden?
that midfield. Rodri's the best defensive midfielder in the world for me. At least on the ball. Whatever you say about Casemiro, off the ball, fair enough. But on the ball, and then we have to have two attacking midfielders next to Haaland that can win the ball back quick. For me, it's Foden and it's De Bruyne.
So effectively, what you're saying is for Erling Haaland, you fundamentally change.
Have to, because it's not
You're
working.
changing the system to accommodate somebody. You're changing the system of champions to accommodate somebody who is not a champion.
If you get an opportunity to sign someone as prodigious as Haaland could be top 5 strikers in the history of football. He could be. He's that good. He is that good in my opinion. He could end his career being top 5 all the time.
Possibly.
So you don't get the for
Is
65
Haaland
million
another
quid.
Zlatan for Pep? Where it just didn't.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out. Yeah, look at Thierry
reason,
Henry, David Villa. He had to shift them on the left.
Ultimately, didn't he?
Played him out wide.
Although he had to accommodate.
You can't play Haaland on the right. Obviously, you can't do it. You have to play him down the middle.
Is his game too limited then? Because you look at him. I'm not saying he has a bad first touch like Lukaku, but it's not the best.
Well, we've been chatting.
His passing's not the best.
Yeah, we've been chatting all week after the Manchester derby. You had Luke Shaw at centre back. Were we ever chatting about, Luke Shaw was under pressure? Luke Shaw's, 6 foot, 5'11", 5. He's a fullback playing centre back. He played well. Obviously, I'm not saying he didn't play well.
No, yeah.
Haaland did nothing on him. No jumps on him. He was running deep to link up play. Your centre backs won't even bother tracking him. So I think defenders are happy for Haaland. Just have the ball.
Of course.
Have the ball.
Of course, yeah.
You're not going to run in behind. If we sit deep, you're not going to be dangerous.
Yeah,
for
you'd
us. So
rather Haaland on the ball than De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva, wouldn't
and
you?
we've got two wingers. We've got Grealish cuts in, Mahrez who cuts in. So there's no pace on the outside. There's no one whipping things first time.
At all.
So we have to figure out: is it Mahrez, Haaland? Is it Alvarez? As a
Do you know
left
who
winger?
it is?
Do you
It's
know what I mean?
Raheem Sterling. Seriously, it's
Sane and Sterling.
It's Sterling. It's another example of Guardiola's arrogance, and I do believe it's arrogance to strengthen. Look, it's worked out with Chelsea from his perspective. Strengthen Chelsea, it doesn't matter. But that was his attitude to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Strengthen Arsenal, it's fine. They're not going to be our main contender.
He's probably going to blow.
I think it's above him. I think it's above Guard. I think City have got the people high up in the club. We want to be seen as a club that can buy a player, grow them. A bit like we signed Leroy Sané. Bit of a gamble. Good player. Sell him to Bayern Munich as a finished product. Zinchenko sold 4 players at Southampton. We've made the most profit of any club in the history of the transfer window.
Fergie used to sell when players were almost done to him.
Yeah.
Or like they'd have gone too far.
But I think you have to. But if an offer
Pep
comes
seems
in,
to sell players that still have a lot in them.
Like Gabriel Jesus is still obviously a wicked footballer.
But you can't keep him if he's not happy. You can't. We didn't keep Leroy. Leroy Sané was desperate to go back for.
No,
to
Leroy
Germany.
Sané is slightly different, I think.
No, but I think Zinchenko was desperate to leave. He wants to play in midfield.
Sané and Ferran Torres, you're right.
Yeah.
For different reasons, Sané and Ferran Torres, he couldn't have protected and couldn't have kept. But I think Raheem Sterling could have kept. He was looking for assurances. He was looking for game time assurances.
He was bad. I thought final 6 months of Sterling. I can see Sterling.
But it's an option for you that you don't have.
I think Zinchenko is the one that really hurts because I think Arsenal signed. I think everyone thought he's going to play in midfield, in the midfield 3, replace Granit Xhaka, for example, that kind of left-hand side of midfield. He's been playing as a left back. So he's gone from a left back to a left back at a worse side.
And made them a better side. By the way. They're above you in the league. Made them a better side.
Yeah, exactly, and that's ironic. Jesus and Sterling were jigsaw pieces that didn't quite fit, but Zinchenko, that one hurts a little bit because he's
Because
technically
also
so
you
gifted.
didn't bring anyone else in.
Well,
You-
Sergio Gomez came in. I think we're maybe looking for a little bit more. He hasn't set the world on fire. I'm not going to sit. And then we're playing Nathan
Does
Hackett left back.
Pep wait for Haaland to transition, or does he just get rid? Not get rid, or does
transition
he just,
into
like,
what?
to the forward that he needs?
No, he's already the forward that he's going to be. He's not going to evolve into a different player.
Exactly. So does Pep hope that this team ultimately can function with Haaland, or does he go, my team isn't functioning as well as it once was,
I think they drop
therefore I
Haaland.
replace Haaland?
I think they drop Haaland. I genuinely
This
do.
season?
Yeah, I think Julian Alvarez is an option, and then I think potentially he does something slightly left field, something that perhaps you might not
Maybe he
predict.
gets injured and then he can't get
Foden's
back
a
in the
false
team.
nine.
But the Foden one I find interesting, but
Something's
has something
happened.
happened. Yeah, they had an
Yeah,
argument.
yeah.
They have, innit? Because he came back from the World Cup, Foden, and he didn't get a look in, and nobody could really understand.
But we
why.
know Foden's got. I can't speak about Phil Foden in terms of anything I know about. But obviously, he had that thing with the Iceland stuff with England, and
Yeah.
he's got a little bit about him.
He had a
of
row
maybe
at the boxing as well. Do you remember he had a row at the boxing?
And Phil Foden is being played out of
that wasn't
position.
his fault.
It's as simple as that. He's not a left winger. He hasn't got a turn. He's got good pace, but he's not a winger. And he's being played out. We've got two players in Jack Grealish and Phil Foden, some of the most incredible talents England have had in 20 years, being played out of position at Man City. So we have to figure out what's happening. I don't know why you don't trust him in midfield.
Right, before we move on and discuss this game and speak to the audience as well, because I've realised, we started the show and we just got stuck straight into Buvey, straight into City. Make sure you're keeping your comments coming in, by the way. We'll be reading some of them out. Like Doggy in the chat has said, Haaland has 22 goals. Come on, lads. I don't think we're disputing him as a goal scorer, though, are we? We're disputing about what he's done to City.
It's how conducive he is to City winning the league. Are City more likely to win the league with his 22 goals or 7 extra goals from the likes of Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez?
Here's a comment for you lads and obviously everyone watching. Would we have more points now if Gabriel Jesus was still in the club, playing as a right winger, Foden as a false nine, or Haaland now? More points or less points?
Oh, mate.
I think as a City fan, my gut saying that to you, I think we'd have more. I think we'd be top of the Premier League right now. I think we'd be unbeaten.
Well,
Do you think you'll win the
seriously.
league?
It's hard to argue that
I
he
think we'll
wouldn't
scrape
be.
it just because of us. If it was Liverpool, they got the experience to do it, or even if United had this unbelievable form, you got the squad. I think Arsenal are very light in midfield.
You think Arsenal are light in midfield?
If they get injured, if Partey's injured, they are.
Yeah,
they're
no.
out.
Yeah, that's true. But you look back over the years of, and if Roy Keane had been injured in 1999, Man United might not have won the treble. If Frank Lampard had been injured in 06, Chelsea might not have won the league. It doesn't matter, does it?
Partey's brittle.
We'll discuss Arsenal's title chances in a bit. Chelsea-Liverpool today.
Yeah.
Liverpool-Chelsea today. There's a poll now in the chat as well. Before we get into that, are Man City better with or without Erling Haaland?
I'm going to have to say we're better without.
I can't believe it. I'm going to say without as well, but I can't believe that's what I'm saying.
3 in a row. 3 in a row, something that City won't do. Liverpool-Chelsea. Can you give us the teams, Buvey? I haven't seen the teams.
Just put him massively on the spot there. Look, he was just
get my
about to have a
coffee,
break. Do you see that? He just thought, I've done the City bit. I'll get myself a coffee. I'll have a nice break. Suddenly,
your 100 million quid boy's played 11 times
80
for his,
million
for his
is
country.
bargain.
Who
He's
is that?
He's played 11 times for
I
Ukraine.
thought
Who?
I don't
Mikhailo
think
Mudryk.
is
I've
a
been
real
following his
person.
career
Never
for the
heard of
last 2.5 years.
I think
It's a money
Ukraine
laundering scheme.
created him to raise funds for their war
It's
effort.
Breaking Bad. It's money laundering. It's as simple as that.
By the way,
you got
Juventus,
Kepa in
we'll
goal.
talk about them later.
Why are we doing a stream? Because Kepa's in goal. So you've lost.
That's why we're doing a stream. Kepa's in goal.
The fact he's still the
Real
fact he's
jeopardy.
Still,
It's real. We like
he's still
it.
sticking about is everyone's got a chance. I've got a chance with anything. If Kepa can still be in goal for this Chelsea side, with all due respect, I'm not trying to wind you up. He's shocking. Chalobah right back. Thiago Silva. He's been quality. Badashil. I liked him. He looks very, very good.
I go for a Badashile.
Badashile. It's not how you pronounce it.
Are you sure?
Mark
Benoit
Cucurella.
Badashile.
That's one sign I'm glad you made. Cucurella for that. 65 million for that.
He's so rubbish.
Unbelievable. Got Conor Gallagher in midfield with Jorginho. Oh, it's a bit flat, isn't it?
Someone once said
Mason
Conor
Mount.
Gallagher was better than Bukayo Saka, Don't
Who
know
was that?
I can't remember.
Can you
who that
say
was.
their name?
Yeah.
Lewis Hall.
He's a genius.
I like Lewis Hall. I like the way he applies himself. Good against City,
I like the
but
way
he's a
he
bit young.
applies
isn't he?
himself.
Well, some footballers are lazy.
That means you're
Yeah, it's. I mean,
He's
it's,
a crap.
it's not. It's not. It's not
Ziyech
ideal.
And Kai Havertz. What do you think about Kai Havertz up front?
I think it's so uninspiring. It's so uninspiring. I mean, do you know certain players, they will always have something incredible, and therefore it operates as a sort of force field, shield around them, where they don't get criticism. Do you know who's a massive proponent of this? Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
If I say Hugo Lloris is rubbish, people will always say to me, he won the World Cup.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, accepted. But he's rubbish, right?
Yeah,
and I go,
yeah.
but he won the World Cup. I'm like, okay,
100%.
I can't talk to you anymore because I hate you. And that's how it sort of goes a little bit with Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Like, Kai Havertz isn't good enough to play for Chelsea. Like, he isn't good enough.
What's his-
People go, but he won you the European Cup. I'm like, yeah, and I will be ever grateful. He's etched into Chelsea folklore forever.
Where do you think? Because people don't play 4-2-3-1 anymore. No one plays that floating number 10. Sorry. So what is he, an attacking midfield in a 3? Would he play where Odegaard plays in Arsenal? Or is he?
No, he's not good enough.
Exactly. That's
No,
what I
no,
thought.
he's not good
What
enough.
is he? Is he a deeper central midfield player?
Who's this Mount?
No,
Kai
Havertz. I think in like depending on where he was playing, depending on what level he was playing at, to play for Chelsea. Look, Chelsea are a team that have aspirations of winning the league and European Cup. He doesn't play for us. That's he shouldn't be in that team. I think for a slightly lesser team, I think he could operate on the left side of a front 3. I think he could operate as a number 10, the old-fashioned number 10.
But that doesn't happen anymore.
No,
no
I
one
think,
plays 4-2-3-1.
But we're talking about a side that would accommodate him.
Yeah.
Because he's a good enough footballer to be accommodated
luxury.
somewhere else. But at Chelsea, we're not going to build a team around Kai Havertz, obviously.
Exactly.
So no, I don't know. But also the position that he's playing for Chelsea at the moment, which is the false 9, and which call it a false 9 if you like, but you're number 9.
Yeah.
You're the outlet. You're the goal scorer. Like, he's just not going to do that. Like,
No, he needs 5 chances.
No, he's more or less. He's the kind of player that will do very well. He'll get you somewhere between 6 and 8 a season.
Yeah.
In the Premier League, that's just not that's John Terry numbers.
Yeah.
That's John Terry. That's John Terry numbers.
Steve Bruce numbers.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, that's just
Lescott.
it's nowhere near good enough. So I think that there's a huge flaw.
Don't try to bring Lescott into Steve Bruce and John Terry.
Yeah.
You mad.
Premier League
David
champion.
Unsworth. David Unsworth was massively, but he cheated. He scored loads of penalties. But no, I don't think Kai Havertz is good enough. And when you think about, if you look through our team today, there's jeopardy around players, or lots of players being good enough. Lots of Chelsea fans are having a conversation at the moment about Mason Mount. I don't agree. I think he's brilliant, but lots of people don't like him. Kai Havertz, I don't think he's good enough. Hakim Ziyech, I think, has all the talent in the world. Like, Hakim Ziyech has honestly scored one of the best goals I've ever seen in my entire life. For technique. Look at the goal that he scored against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like, I've never hit a ball like that in my life. But not only I haven't, but Jorginho's never hit a ball. No, but I mean professional football. No, you've never.
You've seen me play every single game.
No, mate, I've seen you play every single
left
game.
foot is
I've
unreal.
definitely not seen you play every.
I'm not saying I'm fit enough. I could definitely hit a ball like that.
The way that I'm not debating whether you're better than Hakim Ziyech. I don't know where to go with
Less
this.
than an hour in.
What are we doing?
Get a taxi for Adam.
But listen to Chelsea's midfield today. Conor Gallagher, Jorginho, Lewis Hall. Like, that is just so uninspiring.
But then
Where's Michael
look on the
Essien?
other
Does anyone know
Liverpool
where
side?
Michael Essien is now? Because I think he gets in this team
He's
today.
still playing in Thailand.
I think he gets in the team today. Where's Claude Makelele? Because I think he gets in the team today. Where's Michael Ballack? Because I think he gets in the team
Imagine
today.
Kante back for the next 3 months.
Well, this is the problem we've got, because our best player at the club is N'Golo Kante.
Yeah.
And I just don't
Not seen him
think
for
he's...
2 years, have you really?
No.
18 months.
Where is he?
Injured.
It's on the training ground.
Really?
Mate, have you seen our injury? You know when people are very snide to Graham Potter, and on some level, I think there's truth in it. You can explore whether Graham Potter is the correct appointment, whether he's the correct man to be leading the Chelsea charge or whatever. But what people aren't taking into account are the injuries.
Shall I read the list out?
Have you, mate? It's better than our first 11, isn't it?
So it's Broha, Chilwell, Fofana, Reece James, João Felix, who's suspended, Kante, Mendy, Pulisic, Sterling, and Zakaria. And Zakaria was playing really well. For you.
I mean, look,
City.
but do you know the thing about that, Zakaria, right? He's certainly not the best footballer in the world, and Chelsea could do a lot better than Dennis Zakaria. But my God, we could do a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, he's a good player.
Like, he just brings something so different to our midfield.
Yeah.
Presence,
Yeah.
physicality,
Yeah.
like desire. You know what Pep Guardiola was talking about? Fire. He kept talking about fire, didn't he? He brings that. And Chelsea's midfield, here we go. Chelsea's midfield are like so lacking
Is he on
in
loan?
that. By the way, I just have to let you know, I think
We're kicked off.
we've got over 4,000 people watching this.
Wow.
So we are honoured. Thank you so much. Please do us the privilege of joining the club. Click subscribe and make sure that you hang about.
We had 20,000 subscribers in the first couple of days. That's incredible.
Yeah, we've got to say thank
amazing.
you, lads. We've got to say thank you.
really
and,
great.
and
Thank you.
ladies, because obviously it's not just lads.
I reckon 97%, lads.
I'd go 90-10. I reckon
My
there's a lot more
audience
women in here.
demographic.
Yeah,
my
mine's
audience.
95.
My channel's 100% women, mate.
Yeah, you match them all on Bumble. Every subscriber. Yeah.
Mate, I'm not on any dating apps, lads.
You are.
You've already told us you are. You can't row it
It's a
back.
joke from previous eras.
No, you
lads.
can't row it back. You are. You are 100% on.
If you're a lucky
I've got
lady
more to
walking
life.
around Bristol, you might catch Buvey on your phone.
Yeah.
Within a 5-mile radius. He puts his radius, I think it's on, within 50 miles.
1,000 miles,
He
mate.
just hedges his bet.
If you're ever in the East End and you see a
I'm
really
transferring
big
from
geezer
Kazakhstan,
riding a
lads.
bike fast,
I'm
Rod.
flying to
that's
Kazakhstan
filth
tomorrow.
already. That is filth.
What is
Cut him
going
in
on here?
half. It's literally cut Conor Gallagher in half.
How's
then.
Conor Gallagher playing for you lot?
I don't.
He's
Robertson's
shocking.
a little twat, isn't he?
No, I like the way he plays, Robertson.
No, I would if he was my player.
yeah.
But I mean, like, remember? Oh,
I like the way Robertson plays.
Remember when he
Chelsea need a bit of that. Oh,
That's a straight yellow.
straight yellow.
yellow.
Yeah.
No, but it's like first minute you don't normally get.
Oh, what a touch, Gallagher! Bloody. Do you think we win? What do you think? Score predictions, lads.
I'm going
sorry.
shock 1-0 Chelsea win.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
What you think Chelsea win
I
this?
think you nick it, yeah.
I think it would. You know, like if
You know,
Liverpool-
Mark Cucurella's on the pitch,
It's
right?
the most Chelsea thing to be shit. Go to Liverpool and win.
You
with
know,
a
if
new
like
manager.
Liverpool were playing Brentford today, I'd fancy a shock Brentford 1-0 win.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at with Chelsea. It's going to be a shock.
Thing is, Chelsea and Liverpool this season are both awful.
Liverpool have their injuries too.
No one's talking
Yeah,
about
they do.
Liverpool. No one's
but
talking.
not as many as Chelsea.
No, you know, like
Chelsea's an easy target because
They
of
do
Todd
get an easy
Bowley
ride.
and the American
Do you-
thing
do
and
you
the
know-
money.
do you
But
know we've
Liverpool
signed-
mid-table.
Do you know we've signed 15 players?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Name me 15 players that you signed. Go. No, seriously,
Oh,
it's
mate,
a
I can't-
challenge.
mate,
yeah.
No, come on.
I can't.
Name the
don't get
15
out of
players.
it
I
now.
literally can't. I'm not. What do you mean?
no.
Don't get out of it.
Right.
I'm literally can't.
Yes!
That's 2 goals in 2 games.
Lads, Liverpool
Brilliant.
getting relegated.
No, this isn't. We have
Mate.
to revisit that. But this is a
Yeah, I wanna do-
shambles
yeah, you're
in the
not getting out
Liverpool
of that.
defence because it's hit.
What? Name the player? I can't.
it's
Mate, I
come-
Name
can't.
15.
I can't.
It's
I want
come,
to see how far you get into the list.
it's come back off the goalkeeper, I think, or was it the post? And then they've had 2 tap-ins in the 6-yard box there.
Yeah,
It was
shoddy.
really weird.
Really weird.
It's Canati and Gomez.
Do you know what, as well? From a Liverpool perspective, I think you look at the discipline to end up giving away a corner. You know, they've given away a free kick, give away a corner. It's all very well saying, he's on, he's on. He's definitely on. Oh, no, he's
Milner.
definitely on. No chance is he offside.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Is it Milner?
There's nobody offside there. Yeah, it's Milner, isn't it? Yeah, number 7 there, yeah.
Jorginho might be off. No, Thiago Silva might be off.
Nah.
I don't think Havertz was.
No, Havertz definitely not.
Because Havertz.
I think it's a
moved,
goal.
wasn't
I don't think there's any doubt in there whatsoever.
he? Yeah, Milner might be the one in it. That's what happens when you have a 50-year-old right back. You can't.
How's he still playing
His
football?
feet are planted.
You know,
He can't move.
City let him go 5 years ago now.
Oh, they're checking it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to check though. We've seen it.
I think there is something to check.
What are they checking?
I've seen it. There's nobody offside. Oh, he's offside.
Oh, they check everything.
Oh,
Fucking
got
dickheads,
it.
man. I'm just sick of VAR.
Got it. Right, Rory.
Dickheads.
That's a
Name
shame,
the
isn't it?
15 players Chelsea.
I don't know how many
Yeah,
times I can say this.
Please.
I
Just
can't.
start with the easy
You've got a
one.
minute.
No,
All right, we'll
I
time
can't.
it and try and name
Yeah,
as
yeah,
many
yeah.
as you
This
can.
is a ridiculous
Name
game.
as many as you can.
Lads, I can't.
In a minute.
I
Boys,
can't
come
do it.
on.
Mate, me not knowing a player these days, by
This
the way,
is a
is
TikTok
nowhere.
all in itself,
It's nowhere
though.
near.
Yeah.
Me not knowing the
Boys,
players.
it's the first show. Come on.
Lads, I'm telling you, I can't do it. There's no point in me doing it. I
Right.
can't do it.
I'm starting a
Let's
minute.
go
and you've
around the
got to
table
try and do
then.
it.
You go first, Ad.
Mudryk.
Felix. This is a ridiculous game. I'm not playing
Banner
this.
shield,
I'm
banner
not
shield.
playing this. He just read the whole
No, no,
list.
no,
Look,
no,
look,
no,
look.
yeah,
He had the
yeah.
whole
No, no,
list
no,
up.
no,
He had the whole
I
list
will have the
up.
time. I had to
Slag off his integrity.
No, I will slag off
he's
his
honest.
integrity.
Are we
I'll slag off
including
your
the summer?
Oh, go on. Lads, it's a boring game.
Yeah, it's top Bowley.
The point is, Chelsea signing players that I haven't heard of is by no means an indicator of how good the players are. I don't know.
No, we're not slagging off our shit.
No,
there. We're
but
just,
what I'm saying as well though is that when Chelsea are spending this amount of money on this amount of players that I've never seen play football,
it's worrying, isn't it?
it's worrying. Also, I do find these ridiculous length of contracts.
Isn't it to get around?
FFP, I know.
Spread the
Yeah.
cost.
So basically, if you sign a £100 million player and you sign him on a 5-year deal, it's 20 million quid a year. If you put them on an 8-year deal, it's 12 million pound.
And it's also based on how much the asset depreciates, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
So
a
it
term.
keeps your club value a little bit higher.
But the thing is, it's a mess because what happens is, so Chelsea did it with Kepa Arrizabalaga, for example. The point there is don't sign a rubbish player. Like, don't sign a don't sign a
Cody
rubbish.
Hatpo smashed one into Rose Ed.
Don't sign a rubbish player because the player, if the player's good, he'll keep his value.
Yeah.
So we spent 70 million quid on a player, signed him on a massive 7-year deal, I think. So it worked out being £10 million a year. So people go, oh, it's a good deal, you know, it's £10 million a year for a goalkeeper. If you sign a good keeper on £5 million a year, he'll be worth 70 million today. Whereas Kepa's worth what?
Yeah, but you got
20
sucked into that athletic Bilbao kind of, the narrative around Bilbao is all these players have to be classed.
No, but
Bilbao,
I just think that we panicked. Do you know what? It's another example of Chelsea in particular signing players off the back of one good season. Like Thibaut Courtois left in a rather acrimonious way. That created panic at Chelsea, and we went and signed a player that had one good year. And lots of clubs are making this mistake, signing a player who has one good year. Nicola Pepe, one good year. Cucurella, one good year.
That's true.
Like, sign players.
Someone had a good 6 months and got sold. Who was that?
Anthony, 100 million quid for you lot.
Anthony.
Lads, 100 million quid for a baby.
Nah,
No, but do you know the thing about...
You've used that one before.
Do you know the thing...
No, not on this show. It's a brand new show, mate. Literally a brand new show. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally the first show. I'm using it every week now. Every week, lads.
Do you know the thing about Anthony, which I just thought was like quite sad, not only from a Man United perspective, but from like a Premier League perspective? Manchester United admitted that the player wasn't worth 100 million quid. They didn't want to pay that. And yet, because the Premier League is so wealthy, because we all have so much money, we just go into Europe, spray our cash everywhere.
United,
no, but United did it in that example, but the reason why that's a good example is because United said he's not worth 100 million quid and then signed him for 100 million quid.
Who said he's not worth 100 million
People
quid?
also
United.
forget.
Who did?
People also forget.
They said they weren't going above 80,
He
didn't
scored
they?
against City, Arsenal, Everton. I know he's not worth 100 million quid, but people that go a little bit mad about his performances this season, I think.
Mate, he's honestly worth 20 mil. He's a gamble.
He's worth
mate,
about
I'm not
40,
even
50.
No,
but it's the same with Maguire.
Gakpo's better.
We paid for Maguire, Daniel James, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We paid 130 million.
It's terrible.
And those players are probably worth a combined 50.
Yeah.
The one that's a really underrated player.
I think Wan-Bissaka.
Is anyone?
Exactly. Wan-Bissaka. Wow, he's been coached. He's had 4 weeks with Ten Hag. Clearly, obviously not going to the World Cup. Mate, he was unbelievable against City.
Is anyone else a little bit put off by the Premier League splurge money?
It's horrible. It's grim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen comparisons to the spending elsewhere?
Mate, well, if you think about what happened in the summer, didn't Forest spend more than Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They spent more than...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Chelsea, do you know Chelsea now, as of today, bearing in mind the forward players that we got on this pitch, like average at best, you know Chelsea on our books have 15 forwards.
Name them. Am I joking?
No, but included in that is players like Nkunku and included in that. But you're like,
who's this Mudryk guy? Mudryk.
Mad thing.
What's his name?
Mudryk.
Mikael Mad.
No, the other kid. The new kid. The Dutch one.
Oh, he's not Dutch. He's from Tottenham.
Mudryk. What's his name?
Madueke.
It's not Dutch. He's from Tottenham.
He's from Tottenham. Yeah,
He's come from the Dutch lands.
He's come from the Dutch land. But okay, look, this is a good example to try and demonstrate the point I'm inarticulately making here, right?
Oh.
PSV are building something quite exciting, right? They've got a good team. They've got Cody Gakpo. They've got Madueke. And their fans are feeling excited about their young, dynamic team. Yeah. Suddenly, a couple of Premier League clubs come along and go, give us your best players. We're going to
have for years.
Horrible.
It happened in, Italy did that with players from the British Isles in the 60s, 70s. Do you know what I mean? Like
the odd one. You're talking about like John Charles.
Yeah, I am talking about John Charles. But even in the 90s, Paul Ince and all that.
Hang on a minute. Do you think that in the 50s, Serie A was full of English expats?
There was quite a few, yeah. There's quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, there was an influx of these bloody English.
Can't get rid of these ex-Norwich and Villa players. Fucking hell.
It's happened.
Just don't stop.
Mate, if the Dutch clubs were big enough, and this is down to the market.
No, the Dutch clubs are big enough. The TV audiences aren't big enough. It's not about the size of the clubs. Ajax are a bigger club than Man City. It's just you haven't. They've got.
No,
they are.
Yes, they are. What are we talking about?
All right. That's rub it in.
I'm glad you gave that one up.
Yeah. You quickly. No, they're not. Yes, they are.
But you were saying PSV were building something exciting. Who's the PSV manager?
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, he knows exactly.
I know you didn't know that. Because he was talking about Madueke saying he wanted to keep him.
Can we stop trying to trip Rory up here? He's going to decredit the whole show.
I've given another name, so I'm winning the competition, lads.
There is no competition.
I've given 3 names.
You're in competition with yourself.
Well, we've got 12 names left.
And you
other
lost.
players, and they're all shocking.
Back him.
I love Ziyech, by the way. You know, when we were linked with him, I really wanted us to sign him.
He's got all of the talent.
Ten Hag.
He's got all of the talent.
He was good for obviously in the Champions League for Ten Hag, wasn't he? And you know.
He's got.
Ziyech went for 35 million quid. That's where Anthony should have been. That
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of price.
that kind of price.
100 mil for Anthony.
No, but the game's broke, bro.
Yeah,
Where's
yeah,
people
you're
like
breaking
Farner
it.
went for that much?
You and Chelsea are breaking. You lads on this table.
No.
are
You
breaking
know
the
who's
football.
broke it? Barcelona. Let's not forget Barcelona handing out 150s, 160s.
150 for Dembele, mate.
Yeah.
Guy scored 6 goals or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like we do criticize the Premier League a lot, but when you look at what Barcelona are doing, there's no wonder they've got Spotify plastered all over.
embarrassing.
But do you know what it is, right? I just think that there's. I saw a tweet from like quite.
Bit like Elliot.
I saw a tweet, right, and it
So
said
ruining football.
and it basically said it was a Chelsea fan who went, "Is anybody else frantically refreshing Twitter, hoping that we've signed another player?" I was like, "No, you div.
Grim.
Like that's not it, is it? Like that's not. Football.
You want to see 11 players fighting for the shirt.
Exactly.
The same 11 every
Anyone
week
else
with a couple of
refreshing
subs.
Twitter?
The
Everything
Stuart
about
Pearce
this is so
over there. You want to see 11 players fighting for the
He's
shirt.
right.
You know what I mean?
He's right.
I want to see
That's it.
13. I want to see a couple of
I
subs.
want it where
throughout the
men were
season.
men.
Do you know what I mean? I don't
No,
see
he's-
22.
He's absolutely right. I think that we do need a system where you have players that want to be there. Because do you know what? Look at this Mudryk, right? Chelsea signed Mudryk. And a lot of Chelsea fans are very happy about that. Chelsea signing Mudryk. They think it's a very good signing, and Chelsea have pulled one over on Arsenal and whatever. The geezer doesn't want to play for Chelsea. He literally told us that he didn't want to play for
But
Chelsea.
what does he really know? He's playing in Ukraine. He played for Brighton if they came in. Do you know what I mean? He's desperate to get out of the country.
No, but he explicitly told us via his social media accounts that he wanted to play for
He was
Arsenal.
just trying to angle for a move.
To
We have
Arsenal.
got,
Yeah,
we have
this one's
got in the
good.
chat people from Texas all the way to India,
Brooklyn.
Holland, Denmark, Brooklyn.
Mate, the bagels in Brooklyn, unbelievable. Unbelievable in Brooklyn because it's the water. You know, the water that goes into making bagels is different in New
You
York
just
and
turned
Brooklyn.
this into the most boring chat ever.
No, I'm just trying to shout out Brooklyn.
It's-
They're watching in the chat from Brooklyn.
Why are you talking about? Couldn't you spoke about the Nets
Where
or something
Brooklyn
else?
at? I love your bagels.
Yeah,
Mate,
that's
the bagels
right.
are mate, New York bagels. Are you having a laugh?
No, of all things to talk about for New York,
lads,
you've gone bagel.
Lads, it's called a bit of culture.
You've gone
Called a bit of
bagel.
culture, lads. Obviously, I know you're both from
What
you know,
bagel?
from Dead City and all
Bagel
that, but-
culture.
You're the type of guy
Bagels
to
are
go to New
unbelievable.
York, go straight to that, what? Just go take pictures of
A bagel?
like, the main
Go take
square and that.
what the main square?
What is it called again?
Times Square.
Times
Yeah,
Square.
you don't even know them. Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
know, did you?
That's
You
because I
didn't
don't
correct
know.
me.
I've been
You
to
didn't
Times
correct
Square
me.
actually.
No,
I took
everybody's
loads of
been there.
photos.
but you-
I
Yeah, of
took loads
course
of
you went
photos.
Times Square and
Yeah.
took loads of photos.
Yeah.
That's
What did you do? Go see the Lion King?
Nothing wrong with that. It's called culture, mate.
Yeah,
What,
let
the
us know
Lion
where
King?
you're from in the comment.
Were you in that back in the 90s?
Played Simba.
Yeah, I love that. Rory turned up today and went, oh yeah, I used to be in Casualty. Like, I love when he drops things like that because my head would just be rattled. Because I would have been sat at home watching it.
Casualty is great. Do you remember the nurse that was in it for like 50
Jude.
years? And she got
yeah.
Very good looking.
she got done by a spear. Do you remember that?
Yeah, she
Someone
did.
speared her.
It wasn't a.
She was there. I
Yes,
loved
she
her.
did. Yes, she did.
She was like, oh, I love
Jude. Yeah, it was Jude, which I thought was quite good.
She
Like St.
survived.
Jude. Yeah, she did.
She somehow survived
There's
that.
Holby City as well, weren't there?
Yeah, Holby, but that was
Tina
filmed in
from
Elstree.
Holby
You didn't get if you were in an episode of Holby, you didn't get anything. Whereas if you're in an episode of Casualty, you got to go to
Boys,
Bristol on holiday.
Would you do me now? We've got this podcast together, and you know I respect you so much. Could you get me on EastEnders? I'm not even. I love EastEnders. I'm not asking if there's any. I don't. Emmerdale.
It
nah.
would be sick, actually. Imagine we moved into the square. Us
I
three.
would. What we do an episode of the club live.
I want to run. I don't want
The
to.
club live from the Queen Vic.
You know they're fighting for the Queen Vic in every episode.
Do they need
Who's got
another?
the Queen
I haven't
Vic?
watched it.
shot
I
that
haven't
one
I
out.
want the
Actually,
laundrette. I want Dot's old laundrette. I want to run that and make that 21st century friendly. Wi-Fi and all sorts.
No, I don't think. Anyway, you haven't got time for acting. Aren't you going to be a professional boxer?
Not a professional,
No
YouTube
comment.
boxer. You want it though, yeah?
I do want it. Yeah, as a joke. Yeah.
Not as a joke.
I
you
want,
as a
want-
joke, you
I want my
seriously
walkout song to be Massive Attack. I know it's but
What one?
Bristol,
Unfinished Symphony.
Yeah.
Hey, 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 hey.
It's one of the greatest songs ever
Who do you
written.
want to fight?
Any big idiot that's a Man United or an Arsenal fan,
I reckon you get done though. That's a problem.
you get done. You wouldn't be able to get.
Can
a
you
fight.
imagine
Wait,
that?
I don't want to fight.
Can you imagine the sound
Why are you making
Buvey
it about
makes
me?
when he hits the canvas?
Yeah, yeah, mate. They feel it. They feel it. The
slap.
geezer who's watching from Texas goes, God, what was that?
But you wouldn't be legally
that
allowed to
does
fight.
sound like
Roars.
EastEnders.
Roars wouldn't legally be able to fight because you're so small.
No, but I'd just fight another flyweight.
He could fight little
No,
man.
it's a micro flyweight, isn't it?
No, I
to
weigh
get
more
Paul
than
Rudd
I
to be
weigh more
Ant-Man.
than Sonny Edwards. Don't I? I weigh more than him.
Who's that kid Asbala? You have to fight Asbala. Is he a bloke or what? I don't. Is he a kid or what? I don't know.
Whoa,
What is he?
whoa, whoa.
He's a nice lad.
He's older than us, isn't he?
I would
Not
fight.
58 years old.
Are you actually going to do it?
Look, if I'm putting it out into the universe, if I can fight on any, let's not name names, but YouTube boxing card.
On the KSI
KSI
thing.
card.
You do the name.
We only go big. We only go big.
I'll fight anyone you want.
Misfits.
Yeah, I'll fight anyone.
We got 20k subs now. We can go big. We can go
Who is it? Have you got your? Why don't you call someone out right now?
Oh, I don't know.
Why don't you call someone out?
I don't know. I
Call
it's hard.
Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV out.
Oh, he's about 60 years old. He's got dead chat as well.
He'd knock you out.
He'd be no good in the. You know,
Nah, Robbie's a
it's all about
geezer.
the press conference. He's got no chat. He's
Robbie's got more
AFTV
chat.
lads.
Robbie's definitely got more chat than you.
Me?
Yeah, and he beats
He's
you
the one
up.
holding the mic.
No,
He's got no
Robbie's got
chat.
more chat and he beats you up.
No, I love Robbie, by the way. Not slagging off.
You just said he had dead chat.
not slagging him off. Dead chat.
I don't know. It's hard because I'm a big guy. I'm not saying I'm a good fighter, but I'm a big. It's hard. You have to match me with someone who's 6'4".
So we need somebody who's big and
who's a
in
heavyweight
YouTube.
in the space. JMX. Look, I'll fight.
DMX.
I'll fight JMX.
DMX.
Who's DMX? I don't know. JMX. I'll fight JMX.
You do know who DMX is. You mean
Yeah.
YouTuber. There's no YouTuber called DMX.
JMX.
I think you should fight him.
I'd fight JMX. Yeah.
Who's that?
Yeah, and you know what's good as
Big
well?
YouTuber.
I saw him at the side member
I don't know who
party,
he is either.
and he didn't seem like, I was like, oh yes, he's been training and that, and he was like, nah.
Really?
So you might be in there.
Who else could you have around?
I just jab and run. I just try and get points off. I'm not trying to be a big spectacle.
You ain't moving anywhere, bro.
my
You gas
goal-
after a few rounds.
What do you want about? I've seen you run around. You're
No,
shocking.
what I'm
But
telling
he's
you,
talking
you've got
about
no
you.
gas,
He's
bro.
not talking about him. He's talking about
I'm
you.
not the one
do you
calling
mean?
people out.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. We should all have a fight. lads.
Although
I'll go
Wakey
first.
Wines, I'll fill you in, bruv.
What about? Hang on a minute. Who else is out there? Who's a tall YouTuber? Spraggy.
Oh, he's skinny, though. I love him as well.
Who,
I
who
wouldn't
could
fight
you have a
Spraggy.
row with? Like, because obviously boxing can be a very noble sport. Like, you don't have to dislike someone.
But I'd want to. That's the thing. I want to get out. You want to get out for it. Do you know what I mean?
No, but it can be boxing by its very nature. It's supposed to be an honourable
Yeah, of course.
joust,
Yeah,
effectively.
Yeah.
Like you can have a
Who
fight
do
with
you
somebody you
actually
massively
dislike?
respect.
I don't dislike anyone in this. I can't think of anyone that I massively.
Whose opinions do you dislike the most? Then?
I think Stephen Allison's got shocking opinions.
He'd fill you in.
He's tiny,
already,
apparently.
Do you
He's
think
one of them. He
Stephen-
looks
do you
big
think
in the
Stephen
pictures.
Howson beats him?
He's already got bodies.
No, but it's different.
Stephen
It's
Howson's
different in a
gas
boxing ring, isn't it?
merchant. I've heard Stephen Allison's 5'6".
His
and he's
knees are
tiny.
dodgy. But I
Nothing
reckon,
wrong with that move. Nothing
I
wrong
reckon
with
if he
that.
catches you, you've had it.
Do you think
Well, Stephen Allison,
Yeah.
big lump, isn't he?
I reckon he's seen some stuff.
Stephen?
I wouldn't want to mess with him.
So Steve Howson is, but Steve Howson's probably too short for you.
Yeah, exactly.
What about Joel Bayer?
Yeah, I like.
He's got
Joel,
a
but-
lot of energy. I can imagine
He'd,
him
got a
being
lot- he'd be
lax,
really,
fighting
he's
to
strong
the
as well.
death.
You play football with him?
Yeah.
Filth.
He's got shocking technique.
Yeah,
though.
good footballer,
No, he's not.
isn't he?
I don't call him out on stream, but
I mean, you keep saying that after you've done it.
I
I don't want to call him out of the stream, but already called your chat dead.
No, but he's got a terrible first touch, Joel Bayer. I played football with him once at the Euros in 2016 in France. He's got a terrible first touch.
Well, I look forward to this fight. If you do it,
David Lorca. I love David. I love
Lorca,
Dave.
I
But
reckon
Dave's a
he
big
fills
lad,
you
and he's a
in.
United fan. It'd be fun. I love Dave, by the way, but someone from Cheeky Sport. Why not?
if
Jake,
if
Fulham fan.
If this happens, can I
We'll
be
walk
in your
him in.
corner? Yeah. Can I walk in the ring?
No, not you, lads, because you've been slagging me off.
Who then? You're
Jack-
going to run
Jack
out
Brain
of
can be.
people,
Jack
mate.
Brain.
You called
He's a City
everyone out. You've called everyone out on the stream, and you don't want us
I'm wearing
there. No
sky
one's
blue
going to be
shorts,
with you.
lads, like Ricky Hatton, Man City fan.
Yeah.
It's gonna be class, lads.
Pathetic.
Yeah,
I'm
you-
going to be cheering.
I'm gonna
on
play
for the other
Wonderwall
fella.
if I win. Wonderwall.
We'll walk
away
in with the other fella. We'll walk in with the other
Give me the
fella.
other geezer, yeah.
We'll walk in with Dave.
mate, hopefully, if your first fight-
I would actually support Dave over you.
If your first fight of the night and the arena's not fully full by that point, you'll have home advantage.
I don't want anyone to be. My mum will come down. My mum will watch me.
You don't want to bring your mum to watch you get.
Oh no,
battered,
no, Lewis, no.
Oh,
That's
Gakpo
the second one is a rose.
Gakpo's shocking.
Lewis Hall just been dispossessed there though, really
He
easily.
did that against City, trying to get out
Missed
of
a
the
few
corner. didn't he?
missed
Yeah.
a few chances.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think it is? I think he's very good on the ball, right? And you know the level that he has played at up until very recently. He gets through those situations. It's just different here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you can't be messing around with it.
No, you have to look after it more. 20 minutes in here, nothing much happened. Apart from the disallowed goal early on, nothing much happened. Shame, really, because if that goal had stood, this could have been a very different...
Well, you'd just sit on it, wouldn't you? Just sit on that. I think you'd beat him 1-0.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we would, because that's not really how we play. We're sort of expansive
I think
these
Chelsea
days.
have looked
Yeah,
good
yeah.
here. Chelsea have looked really good in this game so far. What have you made of Potter, Rory, this season?
I like him. I like him, and I think that we have to persevere with him. That's not to say that he hasn't made mistakes. I worry for his future, though. I worry for him overall. I don't necessarily think that he will be there for as long as I want him to be. I think that a lot of fans are already sort of not on his side. A lot of fans have already pretty much made their minds up with him because he's got so much wrong. And do you know what a key factor in where he's gone wrong is? He conducts himself. Oh, that's very well played. He conducts himself like he's still the manager of Brighton. Like he doesn't talk
bit
like
noisy.
It's not even
bit
Brighton,
noisy
it's like Swansea in the Championship. He doesn't even feel like a Premier League manager sometimes.
He doesn't conduct himself like he's manager of London's only representative in the European Cup conversation. He needs to adopt a more. I don't know if it's arrogance or confidence or what. Maybe a little bit of everything. But we don't feel grateful to play Man City. We go to beat Man City. Whereas he seems to think this is a great opportunity for
to
us.
learn almost.
Yeah.
He realised that when he was
go.
a little bit more spiky in the other.
Well, he has to shoot there, surely.
He was a little bit more spiky in one of the press conferences.
Yeah.
Recently. You think he realised that?
Yeah, he was pushing back a bit, and he was clearly annoyed at some of the questioning. But the reason that he's getting some of those questions is because his team's been putting in such poor performances. And that's a fantastic pass. Is he offside then? No. Get your shot off. Why is nobody shooting?
That's better. That's what you should be doing.
I mean, surely the worst option took the shot there. Like Lewis Hall's had the shot that's gone off for a throw on. Both Mason Mount and Kai Havertz have shirked responsibility.
It's almost like they had too much time there.
Mason Mount is an interesting player at the moment. He's really dividing opinion, at least.
Which players are performing well for Potter?
Mate, I mean, Thiago Silva's played very well. The new signings have looked some of the new signings have looked quite good. Zakaria came in, Badashile came in.
Got 12 left to name.
Looked good, but nobody. The team haven't been playing well. The team really haven't been playing well. It's all very well to think. We got a decent win out last time, but it was very much in recent memory that we got turned over by Fulham. Chelsea shouldn't be losing to Fulham in any circumstance, ever. And, we lost to them, I think, that 2006, but that's because we'd already pretty much won the league. Very different circumstances. Like, we needed a victory against Fulham, we got beat. So, no, nobody's played very well for Potter. He hasn't really lived up to the billing at all. So there's a lot to improve, but, hopefully it will come. I just hope that we don't just constantly try and spend our way out of trouble.
I do worry about spending.
Any rhyme or reason to your spending?
No, not really, because there are two areas on the pitch that we so desperately need reinforcements. We need a centre forward and we need a central midfielder. Like Chelsea haven't signed a central midfielder since 2018. Like 2018.
You loaned one, that's it.
Yeah, no, we've loaned a couple. We had Saul, we've loaned, there've been some loanings. But in terms of signing players, in 2018, Kovacic, Jorginho arrived. Kovacic made his move permanent the following year with Lampard when we had the transfer ban. But he was already there the previous year. We've still got the same two midfielders. Like
and Jorginho's
terrible. If I were to say Chelsea need to sign, let's say I were to say something really extreme. Chelsea need to sign Enzo Fernandez and Declan Rice in the same summer. You'd go, lads, what are you talking about? Rory, that's ridiculous. Of course you can't do that.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's not that extreme because all I'm saying is Chelsea need to sign a top class midfielder every 2.5 years.
And 10 years ago, you would have done it, but now that's going to cost you 250 million quid. Literally,
but
it's going to cost you £250 million quid. Those two midfielders.
We spent £500 million and we got worse.
Yeah, no, exactly.
In the last 6 months, we spent £500 million.
This reminds me, I'm not trying to wind you up. Obviously, it's a much different scale, but it's when Portsmouth went big. They got Crouchy, Defoe,
Nico Cranchar. Yeah,
I know it's not the same level, but it feels like an owner that's overstretching. I'm not saying he's got no more money after this. He's got a lot of money in reserve, of course. But it feels like there'll be a wake-up call in 3 years' time when you can't sell these players, or if you don't win a Premier League title to justify the kind of income.
Yeah, I agree.
It's very similar to Roman's early days, though, because Roman also kind of targeted other people signing.
but
those signings were just better players.
But when
I remember because we were going for Essien. Oh shit, you gone Chelsea.
Yeah.
We were going for Robin, and you've kind of done that.
We signed Wayne Bridge to stop Arsenal getting.
Yeah, you've done that with a lot of players.
But Wayne Bridge was a wicked player.
Cucurella's. No, also we've signed under Abramovich, mate. It's there's a similarity in terms of it's Chelsea and we're spending money. But that's where it ends. Chelsea then were constantly signing excellent players that you'd heard of, players that you would have wanted at your club and players that you would have wanted at your club. Neither of you spoke to me about Badashile. That was never neither of you spoke to me about David Fofana. Like
João Felix maybe, but you didn't sign him.
Felix.
Yeah, I like him, but it's not like you've got him.
We haven't signed him. We've paid 11.5 million quid. Played 11.5 million quid. If he does well, he'll go back. And
or they'll sell him for a higher bid.
So look, it is troubling. But when Abramovich landed and we signed Joe Cole and Juan Sebastian Veron in the same window, that was good.
Crazy.
That was good.
Crazy. Yeah.
This is just
Well, same
scattergun
with
and
Man
weird.
City when we had Tevez and all that.
And we need midfield. Do you know what's going to happen? Chelsea now are going to have to sign another player to make up for the loan player that we signed, who now can't play, who we bought in to cover for the loan player that we loaned out. So we loaned out Lukaku. We bought in João Felix. João Felix now can't play. We're going to have to bring somebody else in. We already bought in Lukaku, Aubameyang to cover up for... It's like, what on earth are you doing? Genuinely, hang on. Let me actually work out the structure of this. Aubameyang... Right. So we're now going to have to sign somebody else to cover up for the player that went out on loan, who came in to cover for the player that went out on loan, to cover for the player that came in, who covered for the players that we sent out on loan. That's Chelsea's strategy. I don't even know what I just said.
I've never seen anything like
But that's accurate what happened. That's accurately what happened.
It sounds it, yeah.
Do you think
They do it.
the
It sounded
board will
accurate.
start to come under the flat rather than the manager?
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I would be worried about if I was a Chelsea fan? And I think we all kind of know the Super League will rear its head again. But Chelsea's owners are chucking so much money into this. They're surely going to want to see a return at some point. In what form does that return come? You know, how does that look? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it can only...
I
I think it can only come in one of two ways. One potential way is to sell the club at an inflated rate, and they would sell it for more than
What
they
did
pay.
they spend? $8 billion on it?
Three.
$3 billion.
Three. I mean, three, including some debt, it made it tops it up a bit. But
Four-ish.
Four-ish, but three is the
Is
value.
anyone coming in at 8?
Three of the three.
Not
United
United. Never
are
gonna be
going for
United.
around 5 to 6
Exactly.
million pounds. Billion pounds.
United are obviously a far bigger club than Chelsea, but Chelsea are in London and own... Like, Chelsea's stadium is worth...
Obviously, we don't know.
Like, yeah.
Economically, these are massively big statements,
Yeah.
but it's like we're not in the best economic situation globally.
No, there's a
It's like,
finite amount of people that can buy a football club.
Exactly. Is
And-
that gonna happen in
and-
10 years? You're going to double. You're going to 10x your investment.
And
in
if
10
you think about it, at the moment, Liverpool are up for sale. Manchester United are up for sale. Tottenham are unofficially up for sale. Like Joe Lewis is definitely angling.
Yeah.
There's no way that that those three clubs sell, because Manchester United are probably the jewel in the crown of those three.
Yeah.
Partly because they're Manchester United, but also partly because the most likely person to buy a football club is Ratcliffe, who is a Manchester United fan.
Yeah.
So Manchester United, biggest club in the world, and Ratcliffe make them very likely to sell.
Yeah.
Liverpool are an exceptional football club, one of the biggest clubs in the world, an institution, and therefore will sell probably.
Yeah.
Tottenham, I don't know if they will. And then after that, I just don't think anyone else will. So in terms of Chelsea, say they wanted to flip Chelsea in what? Realistically, they'd want to double their money in 10 years?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No,
So then the other way is a Super League. And that's where it gets very potentially
It's going to happen
depressing.
again. It's going to happen again and again.
Well, it's going to happen because you look at the situation at Juve, you look at the situation of a lot of European clubs, and then you look at the situation.
disgusting.
The other thing is you look at the situation of the Premier League in terms of its wealth and its money and whatever else.
Yeah.
Like they are gonna do that. I'm
Do
sure.
you, away from the owners, or it kind of still is about the owners. What kind of feeling? Because at the start they were kind of like talking about this project and they wanted to be long term and focus on someone and give someone time. Do you think Potter gets that time? Because I personally think he needs time. He deserves to get time as the kind of manager that needs it, but he's not going to get it. That's how I feel.
I understand why you feel that, but I do also think the truth of this situation is that you and I and nobody in the world has any clue, because this is uncharted territory. You know, with Roman Abramovich, you go, he'd be sacked if it was Abramovich. You know, when I said Tuchel would have been sacked way before he was sacked. Like, Tuchel wouldn't have lasted last season if Roman Abramovich was manager. Whether you think I'm right or wrong, the reason I think it is because there's case studies, there's examples. We saw what happened to Ancelotti in the tunnel at Goodison Park. We saw what happened to Roberto Di Matteo after that game against Juventus. We know that it was very unforgiving and you were sacked immediately. This new lot, we don't know. Like, there is no case study.
We have seen a bit of a case study because he sat Tuchel after
He
investing
sacked
so much money
Tuchel,
in
but
his
Tuchel
players.
wasn't his man. This
Yeah,
is
of
the
course,
first
yeah.
time.
Tuchel was dragging his heels on a lot.
Yeah, of course.
This is
probably understandably so. But
This is the first time that this is Todd Bowley's man in charge. Todd Bowley's signings. This is it.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he's going to be... Because effectively to sack him would admit that it was a mistake, which takes an element of professionalism.
Yeah, but
and
you don't want to be 5 years...
How low do you have to drop then for them to sack him?
See, this is the problem. I think sacking him at all, no matter what happens this season, would be totally idiotic.
Yeah.
No matter what. Like, I genuinely mean
Playing really well here. At the moment.
playing very well here. I mean, we'll reassess that on the full-time whistle. You know, it's all very well to have a lot of the ball and not really create much. Chelsea need to be winning games as well. Like, ultimately, football for all clubs, it's a... You know, it's the final score that counts, yeah. But it's especially true for Chelsea at the moment, who are closer to the relegation zone than we are the top of the league.
Crazy.
So I don't know if they will give him time, but my inclination is that they will, simply because they have to, because it makes a mockery of the appointment. If you appoint a manager like Graham Potter, who by his own very admission takes time to play the Potter system, is going to take time to input, it would be... Yes!
Oh, he's had to score that! He has to. Who was that? Koulibaly? Who was that?
Free header at the back, Badashile. Free header at the back post. He has to score. Liverpool at the back are just all over the place,
That's
aren't
a
they?
foul.
Going as a centre half, not
Liverpool
good
look really
Really suspect at the back.
It's great.
Like, that's just a standard cross. It's like, you know, it's a nicely...
Onside.
But it should never bounce. Maybe the keeper should the keeper be
Poor
out?
connection.
Side
Connection.
Yeah.
You know what Casemiro done the other day?
Yeah, jump and volley.
Good save, though, isn't it?
I mean, it's a very comfortable save, though.
Yeah, but
It's a very easy save.
I say Casemiro.
See, do you know the other reason why I feel like Potter
Not
has to
playing
stay?
himself.
Do you know what else makes it so that he has to stay? We signed everything to make Graham Potter work. Like, we bought the kitchen sink from Brighton. Everything that they were selling, we bought. Everything, even cookerette. Like, what's that teacup up to? Because we'll have it. Like, we did that. And as a strategy, it's very expensive to not let that work. But equally, I think a lot of Chelsea fans will go, do you know what? We're Chelsea Football Club. Go and get Zidane. Go and get Enrique. Go and get Pochettino, whoever.
I don't know about Enrique. I think
No, but any...
I know
it's
what
not
you're
the
saying.
point. Yeah,
manager,
the point is an elite level
The point
manager.
is interesting, though. I don't know who's out there. I don't know.
Pochettino's going to need time. He would need time too.
And I think there's a big question mark about Pochettino being a world-class manager.
No, I agree.
I think him and
World
Potter,
class.
you could argue on a similar level though. Maybe Poch is ahead of him.
I think
it was a
ranking,
ahead of
I think
Potter.
Poch is in an A- category with Emery. I think A+ is Klopp.
I love how you've got these
Yeah.
No, but do
categories.
you know what I mean? If it,
No,
rightly,
A+.
tier list, I
minus.
like it. Yeah.
I think Graham Potter's a B+. I don't think he's in the A yet. Pochettino's got to the Champions League final. That's
Yeah.
serious for Spurs.
Oh, yeah,
serious manager. But it's tough, man.
Avram Grant got there. But I would also say, I don't know. Look, you know when we constantly say that, when you said it there, Ad, about Pochettino, you're like, he's going to take time. Not everybody does take time. Lots of managers turn up, impact, win the league. Turn up,
or at
impact,
least,
win the
like-
cup. Turn up, impact, qualify for the
It's
Champions
like
League.
with Ten Hag, like he might not achieve.
He's already
You
achieved.
can tell something's happening.
Yeah. He's already achieved. I think on some level you'd go, oh, that's a terrible pass. There, is that Alcantara?
Oh yeah, that's a foul there.
That's another foul. Mate, they're
Yellow card.
Looking at these that are all over the place. You know?
really are. They're awful.
I reckon we
Yellow
can't
card,
hear the ground, but I reckon you can hear a pin drop
They get away with
in the
murder.
famous Anfield atmosphere.
Yes, mate. It's the most overrated stadium in world football for atmosphere. I'm
Coming from a
sorry.
City fan.
Sorry. But City pound for pound, we've got very high attendance and all that. This Anfield's meant to be the best of all time. Mate, it's shocking. Premier League football there is
It's difficult for me. I haven't been to Anfield for a good few years now, but I've also... It's probably the loudest stadium I've ever been in. The year they knocked us out the Champions League, when Kite scored for them,
Yeah.
that year, I just remember thinking, like, I couldn't hear my mate.
Really,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But that's not far off. What's that now? 15 years
Celtic
ago?
Park's like that. At its best.
15 years ago.
So-
Mate,
Celtic
but
Park's
do-
more
do-
like that
but
regular
do
basis.
you know what though, Ad, right? And I think I think this is a really interesting sort of conversation, like a topic, and I'd be interested to hear what people watching think to this. You know, there's this movement going on at the moment, and it's not traditionally British football. It's not how we approach it. It's very continental to go like ultras and all that. But you've got the Green Brigade at Celtic who are making a racket. You've got the Union Bears at Rangers who are making a racket. You've got this new thing at Arsenal, this Ashburton Army, that are making a racket.
You got the TRA at Manchester United.
And are they drums and
drums, but
masks
it's,
and all that?
It's where the old family section used to be.
Is that by the away end?
Taken that by the tunnel.
By the tunnel.
They've taken that section. It's cheaper season tickets to attract younger
Is it
kids.
standing?
It's all standing.
That's coming back, isn't it?
It's all singing.
We're seeing, and that's great.
Flags, banners, etc., etc.
But But I think, see, look, the easiest thing for me to do here is to be really sneery about it, particularly that Ashburton Army thing, right? To be really sneery and say how ridiculous it is. But I think that Premier League stadiums are a travesty. And this isn't about Anfield. This isn't about Old Trafford. It's not about Stamford Bridge. It's about Premier League football grounds. They're dreadful. And they're over-sanitised. And I do honestly believe that it needs to be looked at. And if the answer is the creation of the Ashburton Army, because have you seen Arsenal? Like Arsenal as a stadium, when they first moved, was definitely the worst stadium in the league.
Of course.
When it was definitely,
hybrid.
and it wasn't always their fault, because the design of the stadium isn't conducive to good support, because you've got the corporate ring around the middle.
Yeah,
so you've got the lower tier singing one song, the upper tier singing another song. There's no cohesion because they've got a geezer in the middle who is probably there on a jolly
having
from
a prawn
brand.
cocktail sandwich and all
Exactly.
that. Yeah, 100%.
So it wasn't always their fault because Highbury was loud.
But I don't think you're looking at it. I know what you're trying to say, and I 100% agree with you in terms of what you're trying to say. I think football's going completely the opposite way. It's going to be a sterilised. You have your ticket, you go in, don't stand
That's
up,
why you
don't
have to
shut
fight
the
back.
fuck up.
That's the point of this.
Watch the game, go home.
You don't even get
have your
a ticket.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, be on your phone.
My
Like
season
the World
ticket's
Cup.
on my phone, bro.
Yeah.
No, but
it's Adam McKola. He caused trouble last week. We're not letting you.
No, but
it's getting to a very controlled state.
No, but that's what I'm saying, Booth. I think that's exactly the point. It needs the pushback needs to happen, and the Ashburton Army are pushing back.
I don't think it will happen. I think it's out of our.
But have you seen the noise coming out of Ibrox? Have you seen the noise coming out of Celtic Park?
Trust me when I say they will slowly rid that out of them as well. Unfortunately,
But I feel like it's on the up. Like the movement. Look, Stamford Bridge is getting worse and worse and worse day by day by day.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is true there. But the Emirates is on the up. I know their team are playing well, but the Emirates is louder than it's ever been.
But you're going from the up from. I only went to Highbury once when I was a kid. And I don't think it'll ever get back to even what Highbury. And Highbury wasn't this mad.
No,
But Highbury was
Good
also a
atmosphere.
more intimidating stadium.
Yeah,
exactly. But
Highbury was loud.
Look at Everton. They're not fighting for Premier League titles. They're going to go into a new fishbowl. They're going into a fishbowl,
Yeah,
a
it's a
sterilised
shame.
fishbowl.
Goodison Park's best ground in the country as well.
It's happening everywhere. It's happening in the Championship. Big clubs are getting these restaurant diners and all that. These kind
but
of
what I'm saying, Booth,
Bennies
is
in
that
the
we need to fight back.
Liberty Stadium's got a nail shop on this.
The
Have you seen that?
cheese room. Spurs have got a cheese room. They're more interested in a cheese room.
But the
and
Tottenham,
it's embarrassing.
But do you know what I do think is good about the Tottenham ground? Like the Tottenham ground's best ground in the country. And the reason why I think it deserves acknowledgement is because you know when Arsenal built their new ground, Tottenham learnt from their mistakes. Arsenal built a new ground, they didn't think about the fans one bit.
Yeah.
Like Wembley, they haven't thought about the fans one bit.
Yeah.
Whereas the Tottenham
They fought
end,
by that.
the Tottenham end, all right, 90% of the ground, whatever you want to think about, maybe 70% of the ground is built for the consumer.
Yeah.
Whereas at least one cop is totally devoted to fans making a racket.
But what are they paid to get in there? Do you know what I mean?
No, it's expensive.
For me, the best ground in the country, pound for pound, is Selhurst Park. Right, in the Premier League. I think.
good away.
But that's ultras.
Maybe
that's
Forest.
ultras, isn't it? They were the original ultras in this country.
Yeah. They got,
So
the standing
what I'm
stand
saying
at Selhurst Park,
is that
do
the
you know
way
what I
that
mean?
it needs to go?
But it's
Is it
basically-
ultras?
But there's a requirement for those things because the stadiums on a whole have become more sanitized. So now you have a controlled almost.
Yeah.
Here's your section.
You're allowed to
football
see-
fans
yeah.
can do what you want.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's very controlled. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because that's what do you know sort of years ago when I used to go, I used to quite like the fact, like when I went away to Turkey, people were saying, God, isn't it brilliant? Their atmosphere, we went to Fenerbahce and their fans were in the ground like 2 hours before kickoff. I'm like, that's really weird. There's no football going. Like your point is to support your football team.
Yeah.
And what I quite liked about our style was it was organic. You made a racket when things were going well. You made less noise when you were 1-0 down, and it was like organic. But there is literally no organic atmosphere now, so therefore it needs to be created.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's good and it benefits, some fans because they get that feeling of what they want. But on a whole, the experience isn't like that for everybody.
I think,
And that's although it kind of, my experience with the TRA, for example,
What does that stand for?
United, the Red Army. So in the corner of Old Trafford, because they now sing in a part of the ground where
It creates a bigger,
it has a knock-on effect.
Yeah, it creates.
One of the things with United is because we've got like the roof kind of comes down, slopes down above you, so it blocks the sound in from everywhere else.
Yeah.
So when the East Stand are singing something, we can't really hear it. So two stands are singing, like you said earlier, two different songs.
Yeah.
No one
So-
knows what's going on.
Yeah, it is annoying. But you know what? If somebody wanted to employ me, I could fix it immediately. I know the answer to fix football. Genuinely.
what is it?
Unreserved seating. unreserved seating changes everything immediately.
You'd have to have sections where some people require that. But if
you
you have
family sections.
if you have like 60% unreserved seating,
if you could just
60-70%.
the way that you can, or at least you could. I don't think it's like this anymore. But when I used to do the aways at Chelsea, your away ticket got you into the ground and you went where you want.
Yeah, I think that still happens now.
Yeah, if someone comes up to you in a away ground and goes, "You're in my seat," you go.
Yeah, you go. This is your first day. Go away. This is your first ever away day.
Where you want.
Yeah. But I do think that that's probably shifting. But if you had that at home games, and the other thing, I got a 2-point program. I shouldn't tell them both actually because I'm probably doing myself out of a potential job, earning loads of money, fixing football stadiums. The other thing, increase away tickets.
Yeah, but they don't want to
because the louder the away,
the
louder the away
in
fans,
number, not in price.
Yeah. No, big fan of 20s plenty. Big fan of 20s plenty, but increase the number. Basically, if you give, like when Liverpool come to Stamford Bridge, we give them about 3,000 tickets. There's about 3,000 Chelsea fans out there. If you made that 6, if Chelsea had the whole of that Anfield Road end, right? If Chelsea had the whole of the Anfield Road end the way you would in the Cup, the away fans are louder, therefore the home fans are louder, therefore the away fans are louder, and it's like it's an ecosystem. So I've fixed it. There you go. You're welcome. You can have that for free.
Cheers. I think City probably need
but then
it.
Also, clubs hate giving away fans more.
Yeah. Because it impacts on the results. Yeah.
And because
and violence in cities and all that violence and stuff like that.
You can only charge them a certain amount.
But we're living in a world where I think City are a very, very well-run club. I'm not biased in terms of the logistics and the execution of the club from a kind of macro perspective. We were charging 70 quid a ticket for Spurs at home. 70 quid a ticket, base level.
But that's
just not on.
Do you know why
as a club that, with all due respect, need to attract fans? That's mental,
mate. You don't need to tell me 100%.
But that's
crazy.
Certainly not agreeing with this. The reason that's what it is because going to the football now. Look at the spectators here behind Cucurella. Look at the experience, right? It's comparable to a night at the theatre.
Yeah, it is.
And if you go to the Opera in Covent Garden, right? Yeah. I don't know what you're going to drop. £70 a ticket. If you go to watch The Lion King at the Lyceum Theatre, which you want to do, you're going to drop £70 a ticket. Yeah. The experience is comparable. Yeah. Like what they don't. If you go to see The Lion King, you go once. Yeah. If you go to the Opera, you go once or twice a year. If you go to the football, I know loads of people that go. They go 38 games. Yeah. They go 38 league games. Yeah. So they got to pay that.
What was that?
Thiago Silva's just flicked
Kepa's
out for a corner, but should Kepa have?
I think the keeper needs to put his name on that, doesn't he? Unless he did, and Thiago ignored him.
Yeah, but you are right though. For the fans, it's changed.
It's a commitment, man.
But it's a societal thing. I think people like the government and all that see football fans as an issue, and it all goes back to almost Football Factory. I know it's a ridiculous movie, but it's that kind of the anti-society kind of people are people that support football games. Working class people United, is anti
United would much rather I didn't have a season ticket because I go to Old Trafford. Yeah. I don't go to the mega store.
No,
I
you're
very rarely buy a coffee or anything.
No, you're the worst person.
You're the
worst person that can happen for a football club's business perspective. The worst thing that you can get is me, who went every game for however many years. I literally didn't give them more than the $6.50 that my season ticket cost. They didn't get a penny. I didn't buy a program. I bought a fanzine. I sold it. I didn't buy one thing in the club, almost on principle.
What's mad with United as well is, so, for example, with our cup game, so for me to be eligible,
you have to go, innit?
For me to be eligible to apply for aways and get to, let's say we make it to the League Cup final to go to the final, I have to opt into all the cup games like at home. So I have to buy those tickets basically. But some people, obviously, I'm in a fortunate position. I'm all right. Some people, sometimes they can't afford to pay for those cup tickets. So their cup tickets get returned. But the club have started going, because you've opted in and now you never pay for that ticket, we're banning you for one of the league games, which is mental because you've already paid for those tickets. But then what they do is, so let's say this fella, it was 4 weeks ago, he tweeted it. They didn't say the Nottingham Forest game, which was the next game, or the Bournemouth game, which was after that. They went, you missed Man City. Yeah. But then that ticket ends up on the club website at 5 times the price. It's mental.
No, it's true. They do that. They do that at Chelsea as well. Like if you have an away season ticket, including the European aways, if you miss one, and bearing in mind an away European can take you anywhere, right? It can take you anywhere. If you miss it, so a couple of years ago we went to Baku, not for the final. We went to Baku in the group. It's not technically that's not Europe, right? So if you can't get there for one reason or another, they go, okay, do you know when we play Real Madrid, you're not going?
Yeah.
Like, what? Hang on a minute.
Azerbaijan, they're in Eurovision or as a European country.
It's in Europe. Yeah. I mean, Israel are in Europe. Do you see Israel as a European
Oh, you're
country?
talking geographically.
I'm talking geographically
Well, I thought you meant
because that's what
yeah.
I mean when I talk about countries' position. Naturally, I'm referring to the geography, not Eurovision.
I love that.
I'm obviously
Eurovision.
His consideration is, are they in Eurovision?
Can I just put? I feel like I just need to put a
Okay.
disclaimer out. If I'm ever talking about European football, my reference will be European football, not Eurovision, ever. On that happy note, can I just let you know that there are over 5,000 people watching. We are honoured. Thank you so much. Thank you. Buvey's giving you a round of applause. Please make sure that you click subscribe. Please make sure that you like the video. We are so grateful. Heroes.
Also, we're on 24,000 subs. Can we hit 1,000? 1,000 more. Hit 25,000.
Go back down to 1,000.
Before half time.
Good at maths.
In 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That's minus.
I've got in with the geography and in with the maths.
Can we get
I'm in
minus
trouble here.
23,000 in there? Minus 23,000 in there. Come on, lads. Fuck you know. Minus 0 subs.
Not asking for
Stop
much.
swearing. Stop swearing. You're better than that. Mate, it's an
You're worse than me.
exclusive, it's an
Brand safe,
exclusive
lads.
club.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
It's an exclusive club, and you're. There's also a podcast on Wednesday. It's an exclusive club, and you're just swearing left, right, and centre like a builder. Mate, can you get out of here,
I'll
mate?
stop swearing. All right.
Like, if you want to talk like that, you're not welcome in this club. This is an exclusive club.
We can't keep doing the the membership's lifetime. I'm in it for life.
No.
Like the president's club.
No.
Once you're a president, you're always a president. You know that in
no,
American history, you are.
Yeah,
you're
you're
President
always
Trump.
always
President
a
Trump, for
president.
example,
You're referred to as
Clinton,
president.
You just get
I'm
security.
But this
I'm
isn't
one of the
lifetime
founding
membership.
members
No.
of the club.
No,
Like,
no.
I could do anything I want.
This
now.
isn't
You
lifetime
could kick me
membership.
out, I'll still be the club
This
member.
isn't lifetime member. No. We operate a black ball system, and when we spoke about your name, it was like the bottom of a rabbit hutch.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's like when Holber applied for the Masons.
Yeah.
You're still in.
Or Dowboy.
You're still in the Masons, though, lads. On that episode, don't forget.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay.
Mark Cucurella. That is who.
Shocking haircut. He's shaved, doesn't he?
Worst
Used
signing
that
of the
remix
window?
Umbrella yet? For
No, he's not getting a song.
Shame.
He's not. I mean, we should do that if he ever gets good, but he's not getting a song. I find it really frustrating when a player's song outweighs their footballing ability.
Yeah.
You get a good
Anderson
song.
as well.
Oh,
you want me to read it? Sorry. Hussey in the chat says Buvey's setting up a dictatorship.
What do you mean? I said I'm happy to be part of the group with everyone else. It's called democracy. I'm so pro democracy, you wouldn't believe it. I'm the most democratic person in this whole fucking room. I believe in
Can you
democracy.
stop
like that.
swearing,
Sorry.
mate? That's a yellow card now. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but in
Why
your
do
opinion,
you feel obliged
His
to swear? Do you
membership
not have
price
the
goes on.
intellectual capacity to think of the,
well, no,
the
I've just intellectually tried to make an argument for democracy
via swearing?
Via
You've lost the
non-swearing
argument.
From now on. But I'm so pro democracy, you wouldn't believe.
You know
it.
when someone says that, I get scared.
Yeah. When you have to tell me how, when you have to tell me how up for democracy you are, I immediately think you're not. Yeah.
Seriously, though, lads. Okay.
God, this has
That's
been.
what they say before they take your vote away.
Do you know what? Right, this fixture was, we sort of jokingly billed it as a clash between two mid-table teams, but it really, like, this has been Brentford Fulham, isn't it? Really?
I can't believe
Villa.
that's
Brentford
a foul.
Fulham.
Yeah.
That's a foul. I
That's
can't
gotta be
believe
a foul.
how bad Liverpool are.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea should be winning. But this is because, it's weird, isn't it? Chelsea have had some good chances and we're not winning. And the reason is because we don't have somebody who can put the ball in the back of the net on a guaranteed basis.
And then you know what's going to happen? Second half, Liverpool
Yeah, they're going to
score in
wake
the first
up.
10 minutes.
Klopp's going to go mad. Klopp's going to inspire them in the dressing room. He's certainly more inspirational than Graham Potter. And then they're going to come out firing and we're going to end up losing the game. Go on.
Surely the run there was the opposite way around it.
Yeah, if he'd gone the other side, he would have intercepted the ball, wouldn't he? Dear,
Look,
oh dear. Yeah, if he comes blindside,
Yeah, like,
if he comes blindside, he scores, yeah.
I think he's had a good first half, though, you know.
Gloves and an undershirt, I'm not a fan of that. Look, everybody's wearing undershirts. I like the old Arsenal. Do you remember the Arsenal thing?
Undershirt.
Do you remember Arsenal used to do, I don't know if they still do it, but the captain, whatever the captain chose to wear at Arsenal, it's good tradition. Yeah. So if Tony Adams said we're wearing short-sleeved, everybody, Anders Limpar is then suddenly freezing. It's how I think it should be.
I love that.
I like those traditions. I feel like those traditions are. I think that's even changed at Arsenal.
It's like I like when teams turn up in a suit.
I do always.
You know, like
Always.
I would wear my Man United suit all the time if I was a United player.
Do you remember when Tuchel led Chelsea out at Wembley in the FA Cup final against Leicester? He's wearing a hat and a tracksuit.
Yeah, that's
just like, mate, what are you doing? Like,
so bad.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you need to wear a manager that looks good in a suit. I think is a good manager.
But also, like, if you're leading a team out of Wembley, it's just like, isn't that just what you do? You just wear a suit. Like, if I die and you come to my funeral, I don't feel like I have to tell you to wear a suit. You just wear a suit.
Yeah.
If you would lead a team out of Wembley, I don't think I have to tell you to wear a suit. You just wear a suit.
Yeah. I saw a fella wear a tracksuit to a wedding once.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think he got sent home.
Yeah.
It was a really nice wedding as well.
I thought you were going to say it's a really nice tracksuit. He really went, it was a really nice tracksuit.
It was a horrible tracksuit. It was a really nice wedding as well.
I think it's quite disrespectful. Although this is where everybody in the chat calls me a Yadar. But I do think it's disrespectful.
Yeah, I ain't talking about Central C either. You see the rapper that
No.
went to his mate's wedding in a tracksuit?
No.
Had a bomber jacket on and everything.
Mate, just don't do that. Yeah, there's nothing, just the standard etiquette.
Yeah,
Standard etiquette. There's nothing wrong
I
with
love
it.
rocking a good suit.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I love a day at racing. Always put on a good suit.
The racing season's coming up soon, isn't it? We'll have to get on that again.
Yeah, love it.
A bit of fun.
Yeah.
Get some poker in the club. That'll be a bit of fun.
Mate, that'll be fun. A bit of poker here. Oh, thank you, mate.
There he is.
Bit of poker here would be good.
I don't gamble anymore, lads.
What, you bad at it?
I think about democracy.
Is it because you've never won? Have you finally
Not a
given up?
gamble.
I've been reading Thomas Paine as opposed to playing poker, lads, okay?
I don't even know who Thomas Paine is.
But yeah, this half has not been ideal, has it? This half really has not been
I think
ideal.
Chelsea look like the team that will win this game, if anybody. But it is a typical 0-0.
Man United tomorrow will be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge game. Man.
Do you know what I quite like about that fixture? Arsenal versus Manchester United, as much as I enjoy both of those clubs not doing well, as much as I enjoy both of those clubs like struggling over the past few years, and in Arsenal's case, a couple of decades, it's been great. Part of me also really enjoys that fixture being a proper fixture. Like Arsenal versus Manchester United is about as Premier League as it
Heritage.
gets. Yeah, it's rivalry, isn't it?
We're going to get stuck into United, and we'll do Arsenal as well in the second half. Like United are going to do them tomorrow. But before we do that, get some questions in, and we'll try and go through as many from you guys as well. We've got the guys bringing us some questions over. So yeah, Man United against Arsenal tomorrow. Obviously, our winning run came to an end. 9 wins, 1 draw on the spin for Manchester United since that defeat against Aston Villa. It's been a much turnaround team. We're playing in a better position. But we come into this Arsenal game, a little bit of fatigue. No Casemiro, who's been huge for us, although we did beat them without him last time. But it just feels so good to watch Manchester United at the moment. As neutrals, how do you view? Because as a fan, I've been starved. So if you would have gave me a digestive, I would have been like, "This is the best biscuit I've ever had."
No, you're good. So mate. You're good. It's not just a mirage. You are actually good. Like you are. I think Erik ten Hag has pretty much got everything right since he landed at the club. I think he's pretty much
all the big ones.
Any big decision he's had to make, he's got right. And he's been very brave because some of the decisions that he's made, he could have been more cowardly and not made them. Like dropping Maguire, it would have been so much easier for him to just go, he's my centre half, you bought him, he's a club captain, what do you want me to do? We're conceding goals, but it's not my fault. What he did was, he shipped him out, which is a massive statement, so it's on his shoulders. He then brought in his man, in Martinez, so again, it's on his shoulders. He then chose to not play Maguire, the club captain, and play Luke Shaw, so it's on his shoulders. Brave decisions, all of them worked out. Ronaldo, he got spot on. Look, you're good. You're very good. And I think that you are very loosely. Look, if I was a Manchester United fan, I don't have a dog in the fight, so I can kind of say you're not in the title race. But if my club or where your club are, I'd be saying we can win the league.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Not just the title race bit, but watching United. Obviously, you played against us last week. I think when United played City, I think we were fortunate to win that game. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, because I thought in the second half, City were going to close out a 1-0.
It was a ridiculous goal as well. I mean, the goal's off. But you ride your luck and you get into those circumstances, and now you are potentially going to win the league.
I think you're seeing a lot more fight from this United side. I hate to see it, because there have been times where you've been decent, you've won a cup maybe under Mourinho or the FA Cup under Van Gaal, and it never felt like... I remember when you won the FA Cup, I was outside Wembley, and United fans were still like... You were getting gassed about Mourinho came in the same day, didn't you, when you won the FA Cup?
Van Gaal got sacked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you won the FA Cup, but it didn't feel like Man United winning the FA Cup. It felt like a different proposition. What it felt like when we lost to you in the... even when you scored 3 against us in the 6-3... It felt like Man United of old. It felt like a lot of energy, fighting for the shirt, nastiness. And if you could add a bit of quality, and I still think you need a bit more quality in that starting 11, I think you've got an unbelievable chance in the next few years with the money that you've still got kicking around that club and the fan base and the stadium. It's a bit of a fortress now, Old Trafford. You've got an unbelievable opportunity. There's no question about it.
I do think he's kind of, especially in this transfer window, everything's kind of been put on hold because of the situation with the owners selling, which in the long term is a benefit to us and it's going to hopefully lead to better things. But in the short term, it's kind of hamstringing us. If we could strengthen, then maybe, who knows, we could challenge. I don't think we're challenging for the title this season, but I don't think it's about that. I think we'll comfortably get top 4, which a lot of people didn't expect us to even be in with a sniff of getting top 4. Like Rory alluded to, I think all of his signings have worked pretty well. You can question the Anthony one, but I think the only thing that's questioned with that is the price rather than him. I know he's had a few performances where he's not played overly well, but he scored like 5 league goals, you know what I mean? He's put in something to this season and he's contributed quite well. So I can't moan with his one too much. I think the signings have been very good. The big decisions, Ronaldo, Maguire, very good.
I just thought of another one.
Dealing with the press.
Big decision. Do you remember the other day, I think it was against Wolves, he dropped Rashford. He dropped him, and that can be curtains. Or you can drop him, you can inspire the player can come on and score 2 goals, in my opinion, 2 goals at least. That's brilliant management.
Yeah,
that's a brave
It
decision.
raises everyone around
in the
him.
summer,
Everyone
he did the
else
same
looking
with
at that as an
Garnacho.
example. I'm not going to mess around like Rashford did. And Rashford, it was a tiny minor thing.
What did he do? Do we know?
I think
late
he
for training,
woke,
wasn't he?
because it was an early kickoff at 12:30. He missed the team meeting at like 8 because he woke up late.
He just
So it was just a simple
right,
thing.
but he got dropped for that.
But in the summer,
That's the right way to go.
Alejandro Garnacho, so on the pre-season tour, he had turned up late, like in the hotel for meetings twice, and like he didn't play in the pre-season tour
because he was late.
and that, like, look how good he's been. So it wasn't about talent.
Yeah.
And I think, let's say you're Garnacho in the dressing room at Wolves, and Rashford comes running in late, and then you see the team go up and he's in it, and you go,
Yeah. Hang on, I couldn't play in pre-season because of it.
So I think making that decision, you have to make that decision to keep everything rosy in the.
But
in the dressing
also,
room.
but it's impressive that he managed to make that decision and not put, not get Rashford's back up.
And his back never went up.
Yeah.
It was like, the decision's done. All right, you're coming on at half time.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's gone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's good.
I
It's
think-
good. It's very impressive. And this is why I think the clash tomorrow, like, I know what the score's going to be already. Like, Manchester United versus Arsenal at the Emirates, it just ends 2-2. I guarantee you. Like, it's a 2-2 proper Fergie Wenger era game. It's going to be great.
I'll take
right?
that right now.
It's going to be 2-2. I know it is.
You have to.
But it's great on some level. Like, the football fan in me, rather than the Chelsea fan in me, just thinks that it's nice to have. You know, there are certain fixtures. Like look, maybe even you can empathise with this. Chelsea are playing Liverpool now in the mid-table, and it's like pitiful. Liverpool versus Chelsea at Anfield has
Luis
decided the
Garcia,
league before.
Yeah, for
It's-
us, for
look,
Pellegrini.
mate, it's decided the league. It's literally decided the league. When Steven Gerrard passed the ball back to Didier Drogba, we won the league because we won there. FA Cup finals, Champions League group games,
Demba
Champions
Ba,
League knockout
Mourinho,
games.
yeah.
Deciding the league is what this should be. And instead of that, it's...
For fighting for
Yeah,
two transitional
so that's
sides.
that's why I can kind of enjoy Manchester United versus Arsenal tomorrow as being a spectacle.
We're not in the title race though. I have to say that if we beat Arsenal and in March, April, we're in a different position and a couple of points, maybe. But our goal is top 4, some silverware, and I think we'll comfortably finish top 4.
I think you
which will
get
be a
silverware
huge,
as well.
Huge.
You beat City, you're in the
achievement.
title race. It's probably the shortest title race stint in the history of Premier League football.
but
You're
they're
in it for
not
about a
out
day.
there.
The only
not in
people
it,
saying
mate.
we were in the title race were non-United fans.
I think
Or
you're in the
annoying ones
title
on
race.
Twitter who are atting me about being in a title race.
I think
and all
they're in
that,
a
so.
title race. But hang on a minute.
You
It
are
depends on
calling
your
other people
definition of-
annoying.
It depends your definition of race. Like, I don't think Manchester United will win the league, but surely by definition of where they are in the league.
there in April.
No, but
They should be there in April with the squad they've got.
What
the manager.
squad?
You got a good squad.
We've got no
You got a billion
striker.
quid squad, mate.
But
We have to load a
realistically-
striker off Burnley.
Realistically,
You've got
nobody
Varane,
should.
Casemiro,
If you're
you've got
doing
David De Gea on
if you're doing it
£400
on
a week.
squads, if you're doing it on squads, nobody should be in a title race. City should have had it sewn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but squad's mad.
There should
And
be no
United
title
have-
race.
Whatever you say about United, okay, there's a lot of transition. I get it. You spent 50 million on a centre back, good centre back, World Cup winning centre back. You got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 50 million quid fullback, Luke Shaw, 30 million quid left back. Got a lot of.
But if you're
squad
doing it-
Look
depth.
at key positions. Casemiro's out.
Yeah.
We rely on Scott McTominay, who is League One Championship level.
Yeah.
If you take out, look, Martial's made a Weetabix. He's not even been that reliable. But if you take him out, we've got no striker. Like,
I'm not saying
if
that.
Rashford gets injured, we've got no goal.
Recognise that. Ultimately, whatever you say, Martial costs a lot of money. Fred costs 60 million quid.
No, but you're making a separate argument.
Yeah.
The recruitment at United hasn't been good enough over the years.
I know, but
that's
true. It's still expensive, and you would expect more from this squad, in my opinion. To say that you're just about accepting top 4,
no, you can't say that because you weren't expecting United to challenge for the league at the start of the season. So how can you now turn around and say, "Oh, you should be expecting that"? No one was expecting that. Look, Ten Hag also had to deal with the fact you mentioned the amount of players he brought in. We let go Lingard, Pogba, Mata, Cavani, Matic. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 players.
It's not Ten Hag's fault about what happened 2 years ago in terms of the transfer dealings. I'm not saying that. I know you recognise that as a United fan. All I'm saying is, I think you've got a far better squad than people give you credit for in terms of the depth
in certain positions. So at right back, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka, great,
yeah.
Maybe at centre back, you could argue, you know, if Maguire's your fourth choice, that's probably good.
That's very
you know what I mean? Like, it's good
in my opinion. Yeah.
At left back, we've got Luke Shaw. Not much else. That's. Then you go in midfield. In the DM position, if Casemiro's out, we've had it. Further in front, you got Bruno, Eriksen, Fred. All right, maybe there's a bit of, you know, in the front three, Rashford, Garnacho on the left. That's all right.
Yeah.
On the right, you've got Anthony and Sancho, but Sancho's been out. That's all right. Through the middle, and these are key positions: striker, DM, like key positions. We haven't got the depth.
I think you've got a manager to make. Look, I'm not.
Yeah, we have got a manager that makes the difference.
City are further ahead in our squad because we've got Premier League title winning, players. But we got 100 points with a left back who's Fabian Delph. So to go on a title challenge to get top 4, you're not going to have 22 players that are all world class. That can, a left back that sometimes there will be gaps in your squad. We had a gap in our squad. We had no Sergio Aguero for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? The gap's been filled with Julian Alvarez and Haaland. But all I'm saying is, as a United fan, I'd want for a little bit more, just a little bit higher expectation. Surely it's very.
My expectations will be higher if we have Champions League football. Like the first season wasn't about winning the league. So I'm not going to come in here and say we're on a title race.
Of course.
We have got some questions from Alex, Daza, Oliver, Kimiaro as well, who's asked a few questions about that we've asked us a few questions. I'm going to wait for Rory to get back to ask most of them so Rory can give his opinion. But Kimiaro had one for me, which is, Adam, are you nervous about Newcastle? I assume he means Newcastle potentially finishing ahead of us. They've got Crystal Palace today. I've got a feeling Newcastle go and do what we didn't do and beat Crystal Palace, which would be annoying. Yeah. Am I worried about them? No, because my worry is finishing outside of the top 4. And I think, therefore, I'm worried about what Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea are doing if they go on in late runs. Because I think Newcastle, they might finish top 4. They might drop out, but I wouldn't worry about them too much.
What about long term as a United fan?
Long term,
because they're going to start compete. Like it's very obviously. I know a lot more about it than obviously you do because you're the establishment. But City came in within 12, 18 months, took Tevez off you. Stopped you signing maybe like a David Silva, for example. If you those kind of the Yaya Toures of this world, we're signing them instead of you. I think it becomes more of a issue for everybody. Because you've now got someone that can, a club that can outspend anybody. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that is going to become a problem for everybody. It'll even become a problem probably for Real Madrid and PSG. You know what I mean? Because these lot are on the market pushing prices up even further, and possibly going for trophies.
Newcastle.
Yeah. Are you worried about them?
Yeah.
In the long run?
Of course. I mean, I'm worried about them in the short term as well. I'm worried about them this season. I think they'll get Champions League.
Champions League spot, aren't they?
Yeah. They'll definitely get Champions League this year. I think they're getting a lot right, which is very frustrating because usually it takes a bit of time.
I expect a bit of a silliness at the start.
Yeah, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. I think actually what I think they need to do now is a little bit of the dazzle, the Hollywood signing. When they first got the money, people were going, do you think they'll sign Neymar? And they went and signed Dan Burn, which was a far more intelligent thing to do. Yeah. Whereas now, I think that they could actually do with maybe a Jack Grealish or, like a
Maddison.
James Maddison would be a great shout. Yeah. Somebody like that. But the reason I think Grealish is just because, like Grealish won the league last year. And having somebody who knows what it's like to play, it could just be good for them. But they've got a great manager.
Vincent Kompany always said that Robinho, even though Robinho had a good one season, flopped after that, of course. I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't, but he did raise the level of the club.
Who said that? Kompany?
Vincent Kompany. So I think Newcastle. Maybe it's Isaac.
interesting,
Maybe
that.
we don't know enough about Isaac
Is
yet.
that Robinho?
Yeah,
he thought he
Robinho
was signing
Well,
for
do,
United,
do,
didn't
do you know? Do you know the other thing as well? It's a
I
bit.
think you should say that. I think
100%.
Why
No,
have
he
to
did.
bring that up? We're
No,
trying
he
a
did.
serious
100%.
point.
Yeah, he did.
No, that is true. Yeah,
But also, you nicked him off Chelsea.
yeah.
Like Chelsea.
The second
Chelsea.
half's underway, by the way.
Do you remember that goal that he scored? Was it against Arsenal where
we've
he
got a few
lifted it over the
questions to get
keeper?
through, so let's get you finished on Newcastle.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, wow!
Mate, they don't. But
Look, he knew the reason for lagging. He's laughing. He
He
knew.
pulled one of your faces.
how are they trying that? That is taking the piss out of Kepa, isn't it? That's embarrassing. A centre
That
back.
weren't a
Oh
shot.
my
That weren't a
God.
shot. That was a pass.
That was
for
a punt,
Hackpole.
mate.
Do you think?
That was a pass
Toe
for
poked
Hackpole.
it.
Bro, that's a pass for Hackpole. Watch Hackpole's run.
No, he's shooting.
He hasn't shot.
Mate,
Yeah,
I
He
Is that
can't have
cut?
overhit the pass that much, can he? He's gone into the cop.
It's like Buvey.
Mate, I
Right,
get under
Oliver
the bar,
says,
near with the ball, mate.
interesting game as well today. West Ham Everton. Huge.
Massive game. Massive
Oliver
game.
says, who will get sacked after West Ham Everton?
Moyes.
Moyes.
Who goes first? I think Lampard goes first.
Moyes.
Yeah, I think
I think Moyes
Lampard
has a
goes.
little bit more credit in the
Nah.
bank. But Lampard's getting saved by the fact that the board are under a lot of pressure
Yeah.
at the moment.
The
West Ham
board,
just
the,
got Danny Ings.
the board of the problem at Goodison Park, though. Look, Lampard's not doing well, not by any stretch.
I think
but-
Lampard's one of the problems.
Yeah, but he's not in the top 10.
He's not the biggest problem.
He
He's
can't,
one
he
of
can't
them.
organise his defence. They never could
He's
at
not-
Chelsea.
He's not. That's not true.
You couldn't organise it. You were open defensively at Chelsea. You were. Lampard's not a good defensive coach. He's just not.
No, I
I think
mean,
there's a lot of credit to Lampard, but
I think on some level that's true. But out of the two,
Why
I
does
think
Lampard
David
deserve
Moyes.
credit?
what he did with Chelsea with that ban with the
I'm on about.
for Everton,
He's not done nothing, has he?
he kept them up last season. That is something.
He's
It is
supposed
something.
to stay up.
No, but the
Bro,
way
they're
they
spending
were
ridiculous
bad.
amounts of money.
I know, but it's not always his fault when he went there.
No, keeping him up was impressive because they were gone. And
were
also,
shit.
if they stay up this year, it's impressive. I think.
But he put them in that position.
No, he inherited a team
Did
that
he?
were Rafael Benitez was
Benitez.
manager,
Oh,
wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah, well, he's not been there the whole season
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
No, he came
His
in.
first
He
full
came in
season
and
now.
saved them. Yeah, him
This
and
season is his fault.
It was like the game that they won towards the end of the season at Goodison Park. You know when they were on the pitch celebrating as
Yeah,
if
yeah.
they'd won a cup. I think Calvert-Lewin scored actually. I think Calvert-Lewin came on
What
and
did you
scored.
make of that madness at Goodison Park the other week?
It's just frustrations, isn't it? It's just frustrations of the fans over sort of boiling over. And remember, it's not about this season if you're an Evertonian.
No,
It's about
a bigger
season after season after season. So look, it's a massive game. It's probably the biggest game of the weekend. You know, we can talk about Liverpool, Chelsea, we can talk about Manchester United, Arsenal, but on some level, in terms of what's at stake, if Manchester United beat Arsenal, nothing really changes in terms. Both teams could still potentially win the league. Somebody's going to lose their job, I think, off the back of West Ham.
You reckon one
West
of
Ham.
them's...
I think so. You know, if you look at West Ham, I think West Ham get away with so much. I think David Moyes gets away with so much simply because they went on that European run last year. And that European run papered over a lot of cracks. Do you know what I saw, Booth? This was shock here. I saw a list, a West Ham fan I know I'm in a WhatsApp group with. He put a list of the teams that West Ham beat in 2022. So all of their victories, right? Not many of them. All of their victories. I'm not joking. The best team they beat in the whole of last year, the whole calendar year, Villa. They beat Burnley twice. They beat Norwich twice. Like they beat everyone that you would expect them to beat, and they lost to everyone else.
I always notice it when they come to City. They just always they expect to lose, even though they might be seventh in the league. They beat
And
everyone
West
around
Ham's
them.
normally one of them teams that you fear, don't you? Where you go...
And the
don't
other,
wanna
do you
go
know
to
the
West
other
Still
thing?
Olympic Park at the
Yeah,
start
yeah.
of the season. Haaland just threw on goal easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Do you know the other thing with him as well, right? You know the good players that he's had at his disposal. You know when David Moyes has had good players, he hasn't been able to get them playing, has he? Like Skimaka, not really. Paqueta, not really. The boy who's gone off to Dortmund scoring goals for fun in the Champions League.
He can't deal with
Sebastian
footballers.
Haller. Sebastian Haller comes in and they needed a goal scorer. Suddenly he leaves and he doesn't stop scoring goals.
You could argue it's that because you use this argument a lot. It's the Bundesliga is shocking. as
Nah,
well.
No, we went to Ajax. He's scoring goals elsewhere.
Do you know players
Yeah,
with
you're right about that. But
players with a
Premier
little
League's
bit of
hard.
flair, a little bit of ability, a little bit of
yeah.
something different? He needs workhorses.
Yeah.
He
He wants
needs-
Tim Cahill. He
he
wants a
needs
load
Tim
of Tim
Cahill,
Cahill.
Seamus
Arteta was
Coleman.
at Everton. He was fantastic. Pienaar,
Yeah, he's
Steven Pienaar.
Arteta wasn't a
Workhorses.
fantastic player.
Let's
He was
not,
a good player
let's
for
calm
Everton.
down.
Arteta was half decent
For
footballer.
Everton.
Fine.
He was top level Premier League quality, not
Carl's
European
level.
And
level.
Arteta.
On his day, I'm not even. On his day, he was top 5 midfielders in the league.
Oh, mate.
What are you talking about? What are
On
you
his day
doing?
for Everton.
What are you doing? He's literally never been in the top. He's literally never been in the
What do
top
you mean
20.
consistently?
On his day, it doesn't matter whether it's his day or not. He's never been in the top 20.
What
Premier
day?
League midfielders.
All right, top 20.
No.
I'm not even. I don't care that much.
No.
Arteta was unbelievable. Don't forget Everton. We can find him top
Unbelievable.
5, top 4
Gareth
positions.
Barry level.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he is.
Gareth Barry's a good player. Don't get
he's
don't get me
good
started on
player.
Gareth Barry.
He was a good player.
But Gareth Barry was never in the top 20
I think
midfielders.
Arteta was
It's like
a
Pep
very
Guardiola wasn't
talented
a great player.
He was a European Cup winner.
He wasn't a great player. So was Jose Bosingwa. Jose Bosingwa won 2 European
Pep
Cups.
Guardiola was a greater coach than he was a player.
By far.
Yeah.
Fine.
Arteta wasn't.
I'm not even I'm not saying
you
Arteta
said,
was
what did you
world
say?
class.
Top 5.
He was top.
Top 5, he said to me.
He would have had periods
I've
of the season
tuned
where he
out.
was top 5 in the.
I've got this filter on Buvey where I can sort of mute him in my head. I can kind of hear it. You know, I can hear it, but I don't hear it. You know, like a fridge.
Like white noise.
Like, you know the noise that the fridge makes? Like, if you're watching telly, the fridge is on and you know it's there, but you're watching telly and White Lotus
saying
is
of all
on and
time.
you're
You know when
enjoying
he
it.
goes to
saying
the
of all
mate's
time.
house and his smoke alarm keeps going off. And he's like zoned out.
Yeah,
but
he
you
don't
can
hear it. Yeah. He can hear it. No, every now and again, Buvey just turns into my fridge at home.
I can't
Yeah, it's the
believe
wine
it.
fridge, isn't it?
Arteta was-
That little
I
hum
think
of the
people
wine
forget.
fridge.
Alex asked,
You got a wine fridge, have you?
Mm.
Living fancy over in it.
He's moving.
He's living
yeah.
wine fridge. Man of the people, Roars.
Wait till the
Man
club
of the
takes
people
up
over
like a
here.
wine cellar.
You know,
Do
champagne
Leeds go down,
freezer.
lads? This is from Alex. by the
Who's
way.
going down?
Do Leeds go down?
Yes.
I hope so.
I
hope so.
do you know with regard to hoping Leeds go down, I find it so difficult, right? On one side, I really want them to go down. Chelsea and Leeds are massive rivals. There'd be a whole swathe of Chelsea fans that would tell you Leeds are Chelsea's biggest rival in the league. I think there'd be Leeds fans that would tell you Chelsea are their biggest rivals in the league. There's a hatred between the clubs that goes right back to the late 60s. Played them in the 70 Cup final, and we sing about Leeds every game. They sing about us every game. So obviously, I want them to go down. But on another level, I find the Premier League fairly uninspiring on occasion. You know, Brentford or Bournemouth or whatever. When Leeds come to town, it's exciting.
But
it
one
matters.
of them has to go. One of the big clubs goes this season.
West
This is
Ham.
crazy. West Ham, Everton, or Leeds get relegated, in my opinion. But then
Imagine if
because
2 of them
Southampton have turned it around, I thought Southampton were
Everton
gone.
have never been relegated.
No.
Not from the Premier League.
West Ham
They got
have.
relegated in the
Leeds have.
50s. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But Leeds, for me, once you hire, Bob Bradley 2.0, you're gone for me. I don't
Mate,
think
he
you
made
can
me
ever
laugh.
succeed. I don't think you can ever succeed as an American manager. It's
I think
antiquated.
that's
I
a
don't
bit
care.
unfair, you know.
I don't care. No, I don't care.
Mate, did you hear him? I was telling
We just
the
watched an
the
interview.
boys.
We were sat
Mate,
here.
it's cracked me up, right?
Yeah.
It's cracked me up. Did you hear the interview? I had the radio on and he was talking about Jesse Marsh is talking about the speculation of him losing his job, and it just really made me laugh. They went, what do you think about, you're potentially one game away from being sacked? And he went, that is total BS.
We're watching the Leeds
I think that's
pre-match.
unfair though, because football's changed, man. It's not. It's not the 90s.
Right, it's not right. Tyler Adams doing
Football's
an interview
changed.
for Leeds, and
Coaching's
he's
changed.
calling. He's like, "Oh, when I was a kid, I used to play outside back." He's saying that
No,
on
but
BT programming. It's not right, lads. It's not right. There won't be on my life. If I live for another 70 years, there will not be an American manager who wins the Premier League in this country.
Oh,
on
but
my life.
there's not been an English manager win the Premier
Yeah,
League.
that's true.
Yeah.
Now, shut up.
America's got 300 million people. We're a small country.
You can't do that.
We got more people than Scotland, though. Scotland have won it.
Yeah, but
Scotland won loads.
but Scottish people are a different breed, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? They're
They used to,
aggy people.
manager-wise, they were the gift, weren't they? Manager-wise, at one point.
Yeah, jocks.
Jock Steen,
Americans have got you
Ferguson,
anyway. Rory and Buvey in for you.
There will never be an American manager who wins in this country the Premier League.
But that's not what
You can't get away saying outside back. He just called his fullback an outside back.
Mate,
I hope they get relegated.
Mate, what
I hope
about
they get relegated?
What about Todd Bowley's formation?
Yeah, what was it 5-6-6 or whatever?
4-4-3. We're gonna play. That's why we signed so many players.
Yeah, he thinks we 100 people at a time. NFL.
That's why we signed so many
embarrassing.
He thinks
players.
you need an offense and a defense.
Yeah.
So you just switch it a bit of that. Dazza, good old Dazza, asks, has the World Cup really affected this season?
No.
I've
Not
noticed
yet.
anything.
I don't.
No.
Have you
I think
noticed
it will
that?
by the end of the
No.
season.
I'll tell you what it did affect. I'll tell you what having a Winter World Cup did affect. The quality of the World Cup. It was great. It was a brilliant World Cup because the
fit.
players weren't all knackered.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the best World Cups for ages, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. And I think that the quality of football was so good, partly due to the quality of football being because of the timing of the tournament. Here he comes.
Look at his haircut.
Yeah, it's a terrible.
It looks like, remember...
Bros, isn't it?
Are there any good
Small
barbers in
soldiers.
West London? Where would you go?
remember
Any
Small
what?
Soldiers?
Where would you send him? Barbers right now in West London. Give a barber's name.
Tommy Guns.
Tommy
Tommy
Guns.
Guns on Wardour Street.
Wardour Street
Wardour.
Mordor.
in Soho. Why in Soho? I'm talking about West London.
It's Soho, the West End.
Is Soho in West London?
It's in the West End.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, it's central London, but it's the west side of
it's
central London.
It's not West London. No one calls
Well,
Soho West London.
No,
They call it Central London.
well, it's
You're going
called
in Central, I'm going
it's
Soho.
called the West End. It's literally called the West
Oxford
End.
Circus isn't West London.
It's West End.
No, it's not. It's the
Like-
West End's a street.
I don't think anyone cares.
There's a lot of London people in this chat. I
Killing
guarantee
me,
you.
yeah. No, they aren't. They told us earlier they're from Texas and India.
And I said something positive about Brooklyn, and you were sagging me off for
You
saying
didn't say anything positive
no,
about
you said-
Brooklyn.
you
You
said
said about bagels.
Mate, New York are known for bagels, lads.
No, they're not.
Culture in your life.
If I were to write 10 things down about New York City,
Yeah, one would be
bagels wouldn't be
bagel.
one
Yeah,
of
it would.
them. No.
Food, if you say food, it's like New York pizza comes to mind, maybe.
Yeah, pizza, bagels, hip hop,
Can't eat
Statue of
hip-hop.
Liberty,
Statue of Liberty.
the Hudson.
Hudson,
Keep going then. Empire State Building.
Madison Square
Andy
Garden.
Warhol.
Who?
See what I mean? I have to do a stream with this guy. You don't even know what culture is. All right, this guy painted a can of beans. You wouldn't believe it.
Meatballs.
Oh,
wasn't
that
it?
fella that
It's
did the
meatballs.
Campbell's soup.
Meatballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking better. I did better than that in school. Bowl of
Unbelievable.
What
fruit
else
and
would be your New York? What else would be?
That's hard, isn't it? That's tough.
Ja Rule.
Is he from New York?
Yeah.
that. Mike Tyson,
Tyson, yeah.
Fat Joe.
Catsill,
Yeah. Biggie.
Cuz D'Amato.
Jay-Z.
Sopranos.
That's New
Yeah, it's
Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
But it's still New York,
Same,
isn't
no,
it?
it's
It's
different
the
state.
New
Literally
York.
No, it's
state.
20
Still
minutes
New
away from
Literally,
Madison
it's
Square.
literally,
It's
it's
still
not 20 minutes from Madison Square. It's
Yeah,
about an
yeah.
hour
Mate,
drive.
loads
Yeah,
of loads
The
of
whole
it's-
intro of The Sopranos is how
35, 40
far he has to drive to get out of
Yeah,
New
yeah.
York back to New Jersey.
About 35, 40 minutes. I
an hour.
researched it.
Mate, you go straight across the Hudson to Hoboken.
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't. I'm literally telling you that you do. You go straight across the
We're
fucking...
doing it, bro. We're
Straight
gonna go
across
do
the Hudson.
I want to do it, lads.
No, you're not invited.
Our next
I like
intro on
Sopranos
the
more
club's
than you.
going to be me and him driving.
With Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
You were going to swap you out
Can I
for Michael
come? Oh,
Imperioli.
no, don't
If
slag
that
me off. No, no.
happens, if that happens,
Yeah.
oh, I'd love to do that.
What?
Do you know Michael Imperioli? I'm watching a series at the moment, right, called White Lotus.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
very
I love
good,
it. I
right?
love
Very
good
good. Michael Imperioli just popped up in it. I was so happy.
Yeah.
Have you seen him yet?
Yeah.
No
I watched.
spoilers, no spoilers, please.
I was watching Bad Boys yesterday. I've seen it so many times. I'd never noticed Michael Imperioli was in it.
What?
He's in Bad Boys.
Oi!
He's in Goodfellas as well.
Yeah, I know he's
Everyone
in
knows
Good-
he's in Goodfellas,
Spider.
mate. He's also in The Sopranos.
It's mad as well because his spider who gets shot in his foot, and
Yeah.
like one of his first scenes in Sopranos, he shoots that bakery.
Do you know what else I didn't realise? You know Coco at the
Should have
end?
shot then. Yeah.
You know Coco at the end of The Sopranos? The one
the
who,
one
the
who
one who
gets
goes...
his
God,
face smashed.
and he goes to Meadow. God,
Rub
your
it
dad's
cream on
lucky.
your face.
Your dad's... I did put a bit of moisturiser on.
No, that's what he says to Meadow.
Oh, no, I literally did just put a bit of moisturiser on. That's
That's
what I
he
thought
says
you were talking to
Meadow.
me.
He goes,
You
"Oh,
just put
you gotta do it."
moisturiser. You really?
So are you. You should get some, mate. You can sort those bags out under your eyes. Yeah, no, that Coco goes, he says something to her, doesn't he? He goes, oh, your dad gets to tuck you in at night.
Yeah.
He turns up in The Departed. I had The Departed on when I was at Centre Parks. Like Coco.
Yeah, Ralph Cifaretto's the officer in Bad Boys as well.
Yeah. God, this game's crap.
It's terrible. You guys are shocking. I mean,
Then,
but-
I don't know why Conor Gallagher didn't shoot there.
I know. He delayed it. He tried to be clever. Is that a
Tell you who would've
butterfly?
shot.
Is that a butterfly on Mudryk's neck?
Yeah, but it says.
I think he
It says
flops.
flutter by
He
under it.
flops 1,000,000%.
you
He's the
reckon?
biggest guaranteed flop. I'll put my house
Do you reckon
on
he
it.
gets booed at Arsenal?
isn't.
You know, when we
On
play
my
Arsenal, do you
life.
think he gets booed?
He's got no pace. He's got no power. He's got a bit of trickery.
How do you know? Like, be
I
honest.
watched him.
When?
The Ukrainian league, bruv. Shakhtar.
Look, you often watch it.
Yeah. It's my
I would
favourite league.
believe that.
Name
If-
one game that they
Mate, we
played.
did a
Name
stream
the
once. Adam and I
score.
did a stream once. He was watching. Apparently, he was watching Bordeaux versus Saint Etienne. Apparently,
Yeah,
I remember
it's
him
on
saying
BT
that.
Sport, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me who they were playing in the game that you watched them play.
Dynamo Kiev.
What was the score?
It was a big game. No, I don't have to tell you the score. I'm not interested about the score. I'm watching. I'm analysing the game.
I've been to Shakhtar.
Like Eddie Howe.
He
when he had a
analyses
year-
the game
When
without
Eddie Howe
knowing
went,
the score.
Eddie Howe was going to watch Simeone and all that. I was doing the same.
I
with Ukrainian
went to Shakhtar.
He
It was the
watched
most
the fans.
ridiculous thing I ever did. I flew to Kiev and I got a train. Do you know how far it is?
Yeah, it's a big
It was-
country.
And then we got beat. Willian scored for us, I think. We lost 2-1 in the last minute. I think. God, I can't remember. But yeah, it was the most dumb thing. What a ball.
All right.
Is that Mason Mount?
Got a chance.
My
there.
furthest European away, I think, was
Harris, wasn't
was it Moscow?
it? No.
What's the furthest away you've seen Man United play? Not
Australia.
friendly though. Not friendly.
Oh, yeah. Moscow. Oh my God,
Moscow.
the should have scored.
My furthest, Tokyo.
Oh, for the
Tokyo
Club
for
World
the
Cup.
Club World Cup. Yeah. Tokyo 2012. That was quality, man.
Tokyo.
Chelsea played
Nice.
Tokyo 2012. Yeah.
City never had that World Cup. That World
You never won a European Cup, that's why.
I gave you that one for free and you went for it, mate. Cheap.
He didn't even know.
Rory.
He didn't know how you get into it.
Yeah, you don't know what it is.
How'd you
it's
get
this
into
tournament that they held, right?
Yeah.
And
I remember when United, didn't you forfeit an FA Cup game to play that and you still
No.
lost?
No.
You did.
yeah.
You forfeit against
They
Romario scored.
They did. No, but no, not
Yeah,
Romario.
This is
It
the
wasn't
whole
Romario.
myth,
It was
yeah.
Romario.
How
Let
much
me
you want to
just
bet?
put the whole world
How much you want to
straight.
bet?
It's Romario, mate.
How much you want to bet?
The game I'm talking
It
about,
was
where they
not
forfeit
no,
the
it
FA
wasn't.
Cup game.
When he spun Gary Neville, it wasn't
It
Romario.
was.
It was
no,
not
Romario
Romario.
scored in the game.
Yeah, but it wasn't
I'm
Romario
not
who
talking
spun
about
him.
spinning Neville. I'm saying Romario
Who spun
put two
Neville?
past you lot. Huh?
Who spun Neville?
Not saying. I can't remember. But Romario's in the game.
I love that.
Who
When he
spun
doesn't
Neville?
know, he goes,
Doesn't
Not saying.
matter.
Not
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm not saying.
Who was it who spun him? Was it Babetto?
Bebeto,
Yeah.
You know what?
I've met the better.
I was about to say Bebeto, but then somebody kept saying to me, he's older than that.
Chelsea are the current
the end
holders
of
of
the
that. We are still, funnily enough, you are watching here, you are privileged to be watching the world champions play football.
That's crazy.
We are currently the world champions.
That's crazy.
It's weird, isn't it? You'd think them to be better than this.
But I was making a point that United disrespected the
No, we
oldest
didn't.
cup
What happened was- so
competition
let me
in the
put this
world.
straight.
I can
Can
put
just
my
finish point?
sunglasses on in a
Can I
minute.
finish my point?
You're a child, so you don't remember these.
I'm actually a legal adult. You ruined the FA Cup to play in a club competition. You got absolutely
You did
banged
disrespect
by
the FA Cup.
50-year-old
You did
Romario.
disrespect-
All right, I'll let you lot finish. Go on.
I've just finished it. You got embarrassed by Romario. Yeah.
Finish?
Yep.
Embarrassed.
What happened was the British government put pressure on Manchester United to go to that tournament.
government.
Because of the simple fact, no, listen.
Conspiracy.
Because of the
Alex
simple
Jones.
fact, England wanted the World Cup. So they were saying to Man United, go to that. I promise you. Fergie said, no, I want to send 2 teams. I want to send someone. I think we got Leeds or someone in the 3rd round. He was like, I want to send a second string to that and my team. And they said, no, you're not allowed. The
So
club
what was
put-
what was Fergie going to prioritise? The FA Cup?
Yeah, he wants to play teams in both. And the FA said, "Now you have to send your first string."
So what, he
to
called
this
up Tony
tournament.
Blair and he
we
said,
want to get
I'm,
the World
I'm
Cup."
sending Bebe or
Well,
whatever.
trust
What
me,
was
it was pressure from the government, bro. I promise you.
Bebe
Bebe
would have been
this is how
born.
little you know.
Bebe wouldn't have been born.
Oh, not Bebe. Gary Neville. I'm
Oh,
sending
look at his
Tony
first
Blair on the
touch,
blower.
Donkey.
So you're saying Ferguson had Tony Blair on the blower,
Yes.
saying I'm
Gordon
I'm,
Brown and that. I
Well,
promise.
Gordon Brown is the generation of Bebe. It's the same era. Like, so what is it?
Gordon Brown
was it? 90s?
still would have been in the cabinet.
it would have been.
somewhere.
This happened in the
Gordon
year
Brown was
2000.
Chancellor of the Exchequer. Why would he be involved in such sporting activity?
This happened for
It
the
should have been
FA Cup of
Secretary of
2000.
State for Sport and Culture, the Minister for that.
In
Happened in the
fact-
year 2000. Not much
In
has
fact,
changed, but
Chelsea-
we lived on the water.
And your great granddaughter was very fly.
Fuck.
He was in my class. Geezer from that, honestly.
Fly, it's fine.
From Busted, yeah.
We should get him on the podcast.
Chelsea won the cup that year.
Talking about donkeys, Nunes is on.
Yeah.
We need to find a Liverpool fan, lads, because long term, that's great ammunition for this channel. It's just how bad Nunes has been. He's been shocking. He's been absolutely embarrassing. And Liverpool fans get away with murder because their club's this romantic
Someone said
European
Mudryk
club.
looks like H from Steps.
Yeah. Yeah, he does as well. He does.
And H himself's got more character about him. You know, he went through the ringer. You know what I mean? He went up at the ups.
Mate, you
ups
were
and
just
downs
telling me
of-
that he was a good player. You watched him play at Shakhtar.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying about his character. It's a difference.
Well, you know-
H went through a lot, mate. The '90s MTV Revolution and all that. Wow. Some of the music videos that they had to rehearse for.
What? Dancing in a line and that?
What-
Nate, what's your
What's the
favourite?
one in the church?
Tragedy.
Tragedy.
Well,
They cut the
they
Bee
nicked
Gees,
that
right?
though, didn't they? Yeah,
The Bee
Bee
Gees,
Gees,
right?
yeah.
But they're in the church. Imagine the acting skills these lads have to go through for that music video. It's more than Mudryk's ever had to do in his
Can
life.
you name another member of Steps apart from H? Claire.
Oh, the blonde one.
Claire.
Yeah,
Tina's doing her
No, that's S
thing.
Club. You're getting your.
No,
Mate, do you know
that's-
S Club
yeah.
are still going, but they're like S Club 4.
Oh, class.
Seriously, Bradley is in it.
Shall I tell you a story? I once went out on a student night in Leicester. I was smashed, bro. Like, it was one of them ones, you know, you jump on the coach before and then after and all that stuff. Bro, in the morning, like the afternoon after, I'm looking through my phone, smashed in bed, like hanging. I see a picture of me and Bradley together from S7. So I'm thinking, bro, how has this happened? So I phone my mate now and he's like, yo, you were chilling with Bradley from S7.
That's a penalty.
For about an hour.
Mudryk! Oh! He did well there.
Mate, he was 5 yards out and he's punted it.
No, he did well to get into the space. Quick feet. You've got to appreciate the feet here. Look. Quick passing. That's a penalty as far as
made
I'm
a 5-yard
concerned. Isn't
That
that a
was a foul.
penalty?
That's a free
That's
kick
a
anywhere
penalty. That's
Oh,
a
you gotta go
penalty.
far
Thiago
post.
Alcantara on Conor Gallagher there. It's a penalty. Look, quick feet, man. Skips around the challenge.
100 million quid. Look at it. Business. 100 million quid for that.
That's a foul.
That's
you
a
know.
foul.
You know where he gets lucky?
Buvey, he does well here. Look, quick feet. You've got to like that.
Mate, he's just run past James Milner. He's 58
And
years
Joe
old.
Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez and Milner are shocking, mate. That's not.
You can't give any credit.
The first thing you've seen from him, he's punted it.
You can't give any credit.
Punted it into the side net.
Gosh, that's
from 5 yards
appalling
out.
from Alcantara. Alcantara gets away with it, you know.
He's been shocking.
He's been
hasn't
terrible.
bang average.
He gets away with it.
Murder.
He's a very good player, but he doesn't play very well.
That's a foul on the edge, yeah. That's a foul on
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
He's a very good player, but he don't play very well.
Yeah, so 2-2s now. Check this phone. Pictures with Bradley from S Club 7.
Yeah.
My mate, a former mate, is like, yo, you're chilling with him for about an hour. You're having loads of drinks together and that. And I kept hounding him for Rachel's number.
Rachel.
Give me Rachel's number.
Man.
Rachel Stevens.
Yeah.
She lives in Hampstead.
what a
I'll see her about.
Where?
Lives on Hampstead High Street.
I need to get across there, mate.
No. You stay east side. You're an EastEnder. You don't know. You're London geography. You never
Do you know
find it.
EastEnders? You know where's EastEnders set? What's it called?
Walford.
Square.
You know, it's a mixture of Stretford and Walthamstow. That's the name of Walford. The creators of EastEnders called it a mixture of Walthamstow and Stratford to make it Walford.
Next week on the club, more interesting
How do you know that?
stats and facts about
That is
Albert
quite interesting,
Square.
if anything. I didn't know that. Yes! Oh, ref! That's disgusting.
He got injured in this game.
Mate, sent off again.
It's mad. I always think that, you know,
Mate, he
when
looks
someone
lively.
splashes-
You must admit, he looks lively.
You'd expect that for 80 million quid, wouldn't you?
You know, when someone splashes 100 mil, I always think, imagine he gets like a...
He's so much faster than Milner. I know Milner's like can't run, but he's so much faster than Milner.
He doesn't look
Milner playing
rapid,
for?
this kid, doesn't he?
Milner needs to be in a retirement community.
No, Milner was playing Premier League football before Harvey Elliott was even born. You know that?
Before I was born.
Warren.
Retirement community.
Not care home,
it's
not,
a-
assisted, not assisted living. I'm not saying that bad. I'm saying a little community where they can go to the coffee shop
Do you
and all
think
that,
he's
play
still
bingo
do you
and all
think he's
that.
still a Premier League player, really? Like,
He's
not for
Championship.
Liverpool.
He's Championship.
Do you think?
You know some of those players that dropped down to the Championship, and you think like Danny Murphy went to the Championship with Blackburn at the end of his career, and he just wasn't good. He's just not there anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
Why
have
is
to
he
stay
It
at
just
the club.
stops. It just,
You can't do it.
No, I reckon he could do an Ashley Young at Villa job.
What, Milner?
There's rumours of him going to Leeds and all that, and it's like, I
But
think
look,
he'd struggle.
Liverpool, whatever you think of them, they're mid-table.
And he's still competing against the... Yeah.
No one's talking about it, and it's because we'd have a Liverpool fan on this show, but it's like, it's embarrassing.
You don't want a Liverpool fan that sat
No,
on
I'm-
you.
yeah,
Who
definitely
would you get?
I can't think of any good ones.
It's just Addy, really, isn't it?
Who?
Is it Addy?
Addy, yeah.
Big Liverpool fan. They got all of them got dry chat.
Vuj?
Yeah, dry chat.
Well, he supports everyone, though. Can't keep up.
Does
with
he?
him.
Yeah,
he's-
mate, he was at
he
the World Cup
supports
sport in
football.
2 countries.
Does he?
Yeah, I love it.
Can't even kick a ball. I'm only joking. I like Vuj actually. I bumped into him the other day.
Can't even kick a ball.
Yeah, was it? Did he know who you were, Booth?
No, that's why he didn't like
chatted to me,
you.
you
You went
virgin.
over to him when Alan mate could see you.
He chatted to me, you
Who the
virgin.
hell he did?
I was
It's Harry
walking around.
Maguire.
Do you know the weirdest person to call me Harry Maguire? Alistair Campbell. I did a podcast with Alistair Campbell once about
What?
He's on my life.
Oh, what? His
on my
podcast
life.
with Rory Stewart.
You should have asked him about the World Cup.
I did a podcast for a different football website. He's a Burnley fan, and he had a book coming out. So we chatted about Burnley, Man City.
He lives in
whatever.
Hampstead.
Yeah, I went to his house.
Did you?
I went to his house to
I
do
know
the
where-
interview in
yeah,
COVID,
yeah.
and I walked through the front door. This is Alistair Campbell, and I know my politics. I respect what he did with Tony Blair and all that. No, but I do.
I know my politics.
No, but you tell some people.
respect
I've told the story
Would
to
you say
people, and they're
that
like,
you're-
Alistair Campbell. Who's
Would
that?
you
Do know what I mean?
Would you say that your politics knowledge is as good as your football knowledge?
Hopefully.
I reckon it's better.
I walked in. This is Alistair Campbell. He was a couple of people away from, the most successful Labour government in 100 years.
Yeah.
And he says, "Here's Harry Maguire."
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah. I thought, wow.
Is that what he said?
On my life. On my life. Yeah. But I really respect Alistair Campbell. He's a really interesting figure, and he's big.
Do you listen to his
massive-
podcast with Rory Stewart?
I can't stand Roy Stewart. I'm not doing that. But I'm not doing that. Like that are running the country. That's why we're fucked. Wet guys like that. Honestly, God. But Alistair Campbell, got a lot of respect for him. Seriously, he's old school
That's a
Labour.
sentence I've never expected to hear.
I do.
I've got a lot of respect for Alistair Campbell. All he did with Blair and that.
Anyone that helps Labour be successful in the government is respected by me.
Yeah, those days are long gone. Anyway, moving on. 70 minutes gone. I see a Chelsea goal coming,
I mean, I desperately hope you're correct. I don't. I mean, Mudryk's look lively, though.
No, yeah, that's why I see
He looks lively, don't you think?
Yeah,
Mate, he's been the best player on the pitch since he's been on the pitch.
I don't know about that. I don't know. He's had 2 touches. I don't know about that.
He's the most threatening player. What player has looked more threatening since
Maybe
Mudryk's
you're
been
right.
on the pitch?
Maybe I'm being harsh.
You are being harsh.
Far post.
What are we saying about Liverpool, man? Is Klopp done?
No. You've always said that the most important thing at that club is Klopp. As long as Klopp...
but by saying done, I just mean his time. Is he going to leave? He seems like the manager to walk away rather than he's sacked, and he's got the.
Do you not think that he can just build again, like build another team? Do you know how he built the Firmino?
He's been there for 8 years. Building again means possibly being there for 10, 11. Has he got that in him?
I think
why not? He's not old enough to not manage.
But that's not what I'm saying. Managers don't usually stay around that long anymore, do they?
Yeah, he's different breed, isn't he? So is Guardiola.
And also the board aren't helping him much.
There's a takeover potentially looming, though. That could change things.
Is that a full takeover?
Isn't it horrible how we immediately talk about football and and then we immediately have to start talking about money?
Yeah, or takeovers.
No, well, let's forget a takeover. But in general, though, because of the current ownership, they're not going to spend much.
They just bought Gakpo in.
Gakpo 35
That
mil.
seemed very unlike them. It seemed a bit panicky.
I thought it was quite good.
Klopp spent a lot of
business.
He spent a lot of money since he's come in. He spent a lot of money.
But he's also.
I know he's managed on it's a third of what even Man City spent, but still a lot.
Do you know where they made a mistake? I think it could have been so different if they had just signed a midfielder. You know, if they had just signed
instead of Arthur.
Oh gosh, it's got to be.
Oh my, he's awful, mate. He's got to. Why has he gone with his right foot there?
I think he's tried to control it. No, he didn't shoot. He tried to have a touch.
Why has Ziyech said
Mate,
sorry?
Look how much room there is.
Where's Trent's not playing? Is he? But
he may as well be.
Oh,
he's got
to control that. Just control it. Like
left
don't.
Foot.
He just
left foot.
I think just
back
look after
across
the
the
ball.
goal. You got Havertz there, the back post.
Welcome to the Premier League.
He is coming on to protect that.
God, they've lost.
Yeah, I mean the switch from wing to wing though. Yeah, that is exactly what's happening. The switch from wing to wing, Ziyech to Mudryk, is looking very threatening here.
It would be interesting if he brings Trent on to protect against Mudryk, and then Trent
concedes against Mudryk. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this goes now, because Mudryk surely will be thinking that he has got to beat in a Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yes.
You have to think that. If you're a winger, you have to think, because Alexander-Arnold has been proven to be fallible. Like, it's not about what he can do further up the pitch.
More against Milner, though, wouldn't you?
I think you fancy yourself. I don't know, man.
It's an interesting one, that is, actually, because Milner's more likely to give you a hard time.
Like Liverpool more likely to win the game with Alexander-Arnold on the pitch, but they're also more likely to concede with Alexander-Arnold on the pitch.
Yeah.
Thiago today.
Thiago, terrible, yeah.
That's very good day.
Yeah, very good feed. He's giving the ball away.
Yeah. They get away with murder because they got the big singing fans every now and then on European night. They get away with murder.
Who?
Liverpool. They've won one Premier League in 31 years.
Yeah. Yeah, one Premier League title. Yeah.
But, that's all jokes aside, but it's still like, a lot of money. The Champions League it covers over the cracks, but that was against Spurs. 2 losses in finals to Real Madrid. A Premier League title behind closed doors. When City it wasn't a real competition at that time.
And if you win the league when no one's there to see it, did it really happen?
The games where it was a real challenge against City, where they could have beaten us home and away to win it in the 98-point season, the 100-point season, they could have beaten us. They didn't beat us then.
Mate, imagine if you'd won that league. What would that be? 6 in a row?
Which one's that?
If Liverpool didn't win the league the year that they won it,
would have not done 3 in a row, so they can't have done.
If you count,
no, it'd be 5 in a row.
Butterfly effects and all that, but
because they won 2, then they had a break, then they won 2.
6 initially. They've not done 3, and so
okay.
No, yeah.
So
it would have been 2.
This would
17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 was Liverpool.
All the money you took from the
and so that would be if Liverpool didn't win. So what have you won? You've won 4 out of 5.
We won 4 out of 5, 1 in the middle.
So
theoretically, if we'd won the back end of the 2, we could have won 5 in a row.
God.
But
Everton versus Arsenal in 2 weeks. Everton have a new manager at that game.
Who is it?
I don't think they do.
And they draw the game.
I don't think they do.
I think they do.
I'll go with Sean Dyche every day of the week.
I mean, somebody's going to appoint Dyche, aren't they? Whether it's Leeds, whether it's
doing a few more interviews and stuff recently, innit? You know when they normally put themselves back in the media.
Yeah, he's out there. Yeah.
Harry Kane's been linked with Manchester United last night. Apparently, he's
great
open to the move.
It's exactly what you need.
According to the reports, and Manchester United are open to bringing in a striker. Spurs apparently value him at around £85 million. Got a year left on his deal. Now, me as a Man United fan,
nice. What a move this is.
First time, man.
What a move that was. That was beautiful football.
Me as a Manchester United fan, I'm thinking more along the lines of, yes, he's a world-class player. Yes, he's a world-class goal scorer. but is it too late? And I'm torn between those two.
Surely you just think of Van Persie and Sheringham to know that it's not too late.
There's a lot of similarities with Van Persie,
And
same
Sheringham.
age.
Sheringham,
Yeah,
bang
yeah.
on. So, I mean,
Same
Sheringham's
age.
even more similar. It's the same club.
Yep.
Same style of footballer as well. Like Sheringham didn't win anything at Tottenham. Got to move to Manchester United at 31. Won a treble the second year.
It's crazy, yeah.
Remember the Arsenal fans singing,
Oh, Teddy.
went to Man United and
he
he
won
won it
Focal.
for-
Yeah.
and then we
we
won the lot.
Won a lot, yeah.
I hope you do sign him because then Spurs fans they're all in the mud because they could have had him for 125 million quid out of him, and they 85 million quid now.
Would you be
They've
disappointed
had another
to see him
season
end
goals
up
out
at
of him,
United?
though. Imagine where they'd be without his goals this season. Seriously, imagine. Mate, they're not exactly flying, and he's been scoring goals for fun.
A bit of me though, Spurs fans were trying. If he wants to leave, he should leave. I think some fans want to get on with it.
No, but
You don't want that. Ghost,
take his goal.
Heung-min
Heung-min Son has scored in what, 1 or 2 Premier League games this season. Okay, one of them was a hat trick, but he scored in 1 or 2 Premier League games.
Yeah.
Take Harry Kane's goals out of that team,
Yeah, but you assume the goals would come by definition.
well, you'd assume that Heung-min Son would have scored in more than one
Guerra
game.
left, and we had Bernardo get 6.
Yeah, but
Grealish gets 3.
you'd assume,
Yeah, yeah.
but you'd assume also that Richarlison would have scored. You'd assume that Heung-min Son would have scored, and they haven't.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Don't assume.
It's a great signing for United. I wonder
Great
if
signing
has it got
for United.
similarities to Haaland at City in terms of does it affect the fluidity of Ten Hag's what he wants to do?
I think
Ten Hag wants
Harry
mobility,
Kane's a
doesn't he?
better footballer
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
than Haaland.
Yeah.
Just
He's a better total footballer. I think Haaland's a better striker. I'd rather have
He
Haaland
sniffs
trying to
out
finish.
goals better.
Yeah.
But still, put them 1-on-1, and I'm probably backing Kane.
I think Kane's just better than Haaland.
Not in the last 18 months. Something's happened to Kane a little bit. I don't
Haaland's
know.
awkwardness would probably make more chances for him. You know that?
Yeah, that jinky kind
Yeah,
of drop
he's
the
Kane-
shoulder.
awkward.
Kane is a sensational footballer, like sensational, and he puts Manchester United immediately in the conversation for Premier League winners.
Yeah.
He's a title-winning player for
Yeah,
Manchester United.
if we get
for Manchester
yeah.
United, he is a title-winning player.
I'm just not sure if we go for a younger option like a Osimhen or something. That's the one thing, because I fear we pay 85 million for him, he gets injured. He's had a few injury issues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you could argue that. But then, if he comes to Man United, we claim the Premier League record. We claim that when he gets it.
Yeah.
And
think
I
he
reckon,
could go
I reckon we make him win a
Newcastle?
trophy or two.
No, he would definitely win a trophy at United.
Whether
Do you think
that's the league
do you think it actually goes there? I saw another
I've
link that
started
he goes to
think that he
Newcastle.
does. About 3 months ago, I started to think, when I realised his contract was up, United were being sold, new owners coming in, we clearly need a striker. 2 and 2 is kind of making sense now. So there's the move would make a lot of sense to everybody.
The only difference
Him, us, Spurs.
is he more likely. Yeah, he'll go to Manchester United. I was trying to genuinely ask a question, right? And it's difficult because it sounds like I'm being facetious. No. Are you more likely to win the league next year at Manchester United or Newcastle? Like, where are you more likely to win the league?
Manchester.
Sounds like a ridiculous question, but
United.
Manchester United.
Newcastle need 11 players still. It sounds
But
crazy saying
you've
that.
also
Not in
got-
one window, but they
we
need
don't know
11.
who United's next owners are going to be.
mm.
There's that variable there, you know what I mean? Now we expect it will be someone that will splash a little bit of cash, allow United to spend the money that they make.
Yeah, you don't
And
know.
if that's
though, do
the
you?
case, but we never know.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, I'm inclined to think that the move to Manchester United just works. I think he'd be brilliant at Old Trafford as well. I really do. I think he would just be so good.
We could turn him into a winner, I think. I've always doubted his credentials as a winner. I think even staying at Spurs for so long makes me think,
Loser.
Wasn't his fault though.
are
He
you a
tried to
loser?
leave.
No,
I
but
think you can. There's ways
you
of doing
forced
it.
that move.
You can't for how?
If you're a winner, you forced
He
that
did
move.
everything he could.
If you're a winner, he gets his brother out of the room ages ago, and he gets Mino Raiola when he was with us, or someone like that as his agent.
Yeah.
And he's gone. I think even that's winners. Like I'm a winner. I'm going to get trophies.
He's happy
F
to
what you're
participate.
saying.
That's why he's classic Spurs. He's loved at Spurs. He's happy to be invited to the party.
Wait, why do you think? What I don't know what more he could have done to leave Tottenham apart from what he did last year.
I think force a move. I think he could.
You just
force
don't
it.
train.
did.
You say, I've been let
he
down by the
didn't.
club.
and he should have
blah,
done it
blah, blah.
earlier than that, bro. He should have
Yeah.
been gone. 28 years old.
Yeah.
He should have been gone.
The guy was
25.
fired.
But remember, for when he was 28, Tottenham were playing in Champions League finals. He believed that he could achieve his dream
And then
at
that's the
Tottenham.
thing. He bottled that.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's
Like he's
played
bottled
2
a
League
League
Cup
He was
finals.
World
apparently
Cup
injured.
final.
He was injured in that. Like, I agree on a lot of the things, but in that
Euro
particular one, he was injured.
I think the worrying one, I saw it obviously firsthand with of Ryan Mason was manager, and it was a League Cup final against City. Mate, he even against City this week, nothing, absolutely nothing.
No, but last year, didn't he beat you single-handedly?
No comment on that one, but overall, no, seriously, he has had a shocking record against City, and you think,
I'm thinking back to last year. They did the double over you, and in the second game, he was the reason why. He scored a header in the last minute, didn't he? And he scored an equaliser.
All right, I'm not even gassing. All right, he's had a good game, and you've picked the one good game he's had. Apart from that, for 6 years since Guardiola's been here, he's been absent in a lot, even League Cup finals. He's been absolutely absent in finals for Spurs.
No, I think ultimately I'd take him.
Yeah, you have to. You can't.
But
Osman instead of Napoli, great player.
There's a fear that he gets injured and he's just never about. But
His ankles
he's guaranteed goals.
I think he'd bring. Imagine the player that Marcus Rashford is having Harry Kane with him, and imagine the player that Harry Kane then becomes having Marcus Rashford. Imagine the player that
Sancho,
Bruno Fernandes. If Sancho can get it right, I don't know about Sancho, to be honest, Dad.
I think Sancho's going to be all right.
I think you want that.
No. I think my faith is in the manager.
He's gone.
No, he's not gone.
Mate, sometimes you just
He's not gone.
let the waves just wash over you, mate. He's a flop.
I think you need to let the waves wash over.
They're washing right over me. He's a flop.
Yeah, no. If that's the definition of flopping, then the waves are over me as well. I'm drowning here. I'm drowning. I can't even see the sky anymore.
Mate, the guy's
I'm soaking wet.
He's one of the biggest. And by the way, and do you know why this is an issue for me? It's not a 50 million quid centre back or a right back. He's almost excited. He brought joy to football fans around the world. At Dortmund, he was unbelievable. The skills, the goals.
The reason I'm saying
flair,
that is because
and
I
you
think
ruined
the
his
issues
life.
that he's got at the moment. I think the issues that he's got at the moment aren't footballing.
Yeah,
And therefore, he's gone away.
Yeah,
I think he's come back. I think the manager's giving him time, and I think he's got the right manager. Look, we were speaking about Rashford this time last year, and you just probably writing him off as well.
Mate,
You know what I mean? And I think the fact is, I think Sancho will be okay. Forget that anyway. Breaking news. Well, it was breaking about 5 minutes ago. We hit 25,000 subs.
Oh, lovely. Thank you very much.
You lot are the first 25,000 members of the club.
Of the club.
Who's the first? I want like a.
I was the first.
I want a
Me.
real fan, like a proper fan, like a name to call out, like a proper OG fan. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
No,
I don't have a
you're not trying to say in the back room.
No.
Comment down below now, okay? If you were OG, OG, all right?
Are you a club OG?
Seriously,
25,000. That's
Fantastic.
a lot.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a lot.
You know,
That's
4
a football
days,
stadium,
5
lads.
days. That's a sitter. Trent has to take a
you
touch.
should score that.
There's no reason for him to hit that first time.
But he backs himself, doesn't he? That's
There
the
is
point.
no reason for him to hit that first time.
But he backs himself. You back him with a volley.
Hang on a minute. When Mudryk hit one first time, you're saying that he shouldn't have done it. He
When
should
did I
have
do
had a
that?
touch.
I never said that.
It's just exactly what you said.
When did I say that?
Exactly, it's on camera.
What minute
It's on
of the game?
camera.
What minute
It's
of
on
the game?
camera. People
That
can
was a
fact
shot
check
by
this.
Nunes, that was, by the way.
It's on camera.
What minute of the game was it?
It's on camera.
I can't remember that.
63rd.
Henderson on for Hakpo, Jones on for Elliott, Fabinho on for Bajatic.
We're going to talk about Gakpo being a massive flop in this game. 3 opportunities. He skies all 3.
He
I love
didn't
it.
really
I love
feature.
damning statements.
He didn't really
Massive
feature.
flop in this
Yeah,
game.
but seriously, he's been brought in to massively change the Liverpool season mid-season, like Diaz did this time last year. He had
He's a
3 big
replacement
chances
for
against
Diaz.
Chelsea.
He's a replacement for Diaz. I also think you look at the Liverpool team he's come into compared to the one Diaz came.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Completely different team.
That's true.
Not to be one to defend Liverpool.
Oh, he's rapid.
Yeah, he's got
He's
that. He's
rapid.
got that, you know.
Then you got bullied.
Oh, that's a shame, innit?
That's happened. Who's that?
Chuck Wamaker, isn't it?
Conor Gallagher's
No,
been the
it's
one
Aubameyang.
slipping all over the place
Chuck
today, isn't it?
Wamaker.
No, it's not.
It's Chuck Wamaker, I'm sure of it.
No.
He's pulling up his socks.
Yeah. Number.
Is he number 30, yeah?
Can someone in the back room? That's not.
It is.
Who's number 30?
Handball.
That's number 9 there, Aubameyang, you pillock. Number 9, Aubameyang.
you're
Number
right,
30.
Wait,
Chuck-
him.
Chuck Wamaker.
No, I'm agreeing with.
You.
It's our first stream. Don't get all, 100% agree with you, mate.
Yeah, you have me doubting myself sometimes. It's ridiculous. Like
gotta back yourself.
anybody asks me that question, I go, "Oh, Chuck Wamaker." He goes, "No, it's Aubameyang."
There's
I
about
go,
a million
"Hang on,
people
mate."
in the comments just going OG now. I thought we were about to see a goal in here from an own goal.
Own goal.
Yeah. Like, oh God, I've ruined it.
I want the real OG.
Someone said they're an OG from Singapore, says Curtin. Ashley says there's a big OG here. Punguli says OG started from the bottom, now we're here. Buvey, is that what you wanted? Mando from the H says it's OG.
Yeah.
Lewis Connolly, lowercase OG.
Lowercase OG. It's always more of a statement, I think.
Sussel.
Yeah, you don't feel the need to
Jem
capitalise.
says
Yeah.
I will be with the club forever. And Hussey was the 79th subscriber.
See, he's the 79th OG. I want who's number 1.
I was the
That
first.
isn't us.
I was the first.
No way.
I was literally the first.
I don't think you've worked.
I was the first because Jack did it for me.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Penalty.
He fell over his fucking self.
He's fallen over again.
It cost 20 million quid, yeah?
The ball hit his foot and he fell over. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
That's well, though.
Watch this.
That's class. That's class, that.
Is that a bogey bubble?
No. It's grass on his mouth. Good player. He's a good player, you know.
He is, actually, yeah. Good against City at Stamford Bridge.
Good header.
Yeah.
Who was that? Good header. I think Chelsea have been the much better team here, and I think Potter's looking like he's getting somewhere with this team at the moment.
Yeah, it's...
I really do.
Getting somewhere.
Yeah, I think
The thing is,
I'm seeing signs of the team.
Where? 11?
but Adam, this is a dreadful Liverpool team. We're drawing 0-0.
But you're away at Anfield.
You need to see this as like this Liverpool team aren't the Liverpool that
You're
like
away at Anfield and you already have no confidence.
Yeah, but we're playing a Liverpool team who have no confidence.
But you are.
We
at
just beat
Anfield.
Palace.
Oh.
Don't.
And that was poor as well.
Oh.
Look, I think Liverpool have been crap. Salah's
Palace drew with you, mate.
anonymous, took his contract and he's disappeared. All those things, but I do think Chelsea have controlled this game in the majority of it.
Yeah,
I
think that's all true. I just think that Liverpool are really beatable at the moment, as Brighton.
You should have won. You should have won.
Yeah, and we haven't, and that's why I feel a bit deflated because Brighton scored 3 past Liverpool last week.
No, yeah. It's like when we came to Stamford Bridge, and it's like it's a difficult place to go. We draw 1-1. You go, that's all right, result.
Yeah, for real.
Then you're like,
but everyone else is winning it. Yeah, they lost to Fulham last week. Yeah,
should have won. Luke is an OG from South Africa.
Can you get off your phone?
I'm just checking all the comments, mate.
Can you get off your
I'm
phone
finding some nice
engage?
comments about you.
Can you get?
There's a lot of comments
Good luck.
nice about you.
You have to search, mate. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting. It's so out of order. I'm gonna have to have a word with whoever did that. It's just absolutely disgraceful. I'm not even joking. That's sickening. Truly, I'm so angry.
Jack Brayton.
Jack idiot, ginger. He does it, and the thing
He
is,
just
as well,
shouted out 3 words: Jack, idiot, ginger.
the thing is as well, he does it on purpose. I know that he does. He's morphed
That's
me
YouTube
there.
policy, isn't it?
He's put-
Algorithmic, that is.
He's put
Made my shirt blue. Made my shirt
Yeah.
blue like a cartoon. I look like Bart Simpson, mate.
I hated the fun on this watch along. They've put me on the red side of
Mate,
Liverpool.
I'm not even joking.
What's going on there?
He
Looks
does
like you're
it.
back in Liverpool,
He's
yeah.
put my face through some sort of application that.
Witchify.
Yeah, he's done something. He's definitely done something on purpose because he thinks it's funny, and then sends it to me in the group, and as if there's nothing. And he goes like this. He's sitting next to Elliot in the office. He goes, "Watch this. I'm going to send this, and watch what Rory's going to do." They put it in there and start giggling, the pair of them. I just know exactly what happens in the office.
Shit ass.
Furious.
That's a foul.
That's just not my face either.
Foul.
I don't know where they
I
got that
don't believe that's my face.
That's
I
the
don't
kid from Doctor Who.
I don't believe
that's
that-
2005 David Tennant Doctor Who
They
when
did.
you were in that.
They definitely did something to my face.
It's like that's your
amazing.
face from the trading card.
We've got
that
an
you're on.
OG from Namibia, Kunatangri, an OG from Himalayas, India, and an OG from Birmingham.
Great.
I'm going there soon.
Birmingham.
Yeah.
Why are you going Birmingham?
No, not Himalayas. Yeah, I'm going to Birmingham on Monday.
Why?
What's it to you? You're a copper?
I think it's a big question mark. Why anyone would ever want to go to Birmingham?
I've got lots to
Hey,
do.
you live in Bristol, bro.
I'm from Bristol. I live in London, actually, if you want to know.
Well, you're
One
from
of the great
London.
capitals in the world.
You're from Bristol. You moved to London. That says it all.
Looking
got
for
out
work,
there,
mate. Just trying
Best thing
to
to come
just
from
trying to get a
Bristol, Maya
paycheck out of
Jama.
mate. Just trying to get a paycheck. So yeah. Being a podcast.
If it wasn't for
It's
Maya
London
Jama,
industry.
no
There's
one would know who
industry.
Bristol is.
There's
Maya
industry.
Jama's overrated. She's a Rovers fan as well.
Buvey, you're not allowed to say that.
She's a Rovers fan, so it was lost. The minute she started
I
supporting
thought
Rovers,
she was a West Ham fan.
No, she's a Rovers fan. Copper 90 did a series about it.
That's not a foul.
I'm sure she's a West Ham.
No, she did a series with Copper 90, and they made her a Bristol Rovers fan.
No.
They did. It was called Football Virgin. Seriously, no, it was.
That could be you.
It was. Yeah, that is Buvey.
I'm 27 years old, lads.
It could be you.
I'm 27 years old, lads. That's what I'm going to say.
Exactly.
Do you know what I thought was very
Sorted
funny?
out,
I won't say who it was. You know when we were having a chat in the WhatsApp group earlier this week, and Buvey was talking about somebody in particular who I'm not going to say who. Buvey started calling him a virgin as an insult. Just like, who does that now?
It's just a bit. It's a bit of chat, mate.
Virgin.
It's just a bit of chat.
It's a WhatsApp bit of chat.
What,
a bit like when
Virgin?
your face got sent in that group and everyone's laughing. It's a bit of chat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, my face is
It
disgusting.
was weird. It was like a cartoon. It was like Bart Simpson.
That
I
was
thought you were like
outrageous.
Bart
Man.
Simpson.
That was I know it was Jack, and I will get him back. I will rugby tackle him to the floor.
Jack beats you in a fight. That's the issue.
Yeah, possibly, but that's almost guaranteed. But I still might have to just do
Just
it.
have a go.
Just to be a man of honour and principle.
Yeah.
I might just have to do it
Yeah.
and lose, but lose with valiant honour.
Of course. Yeah.
Not sure you lose with Valiant Honor if he's half your age.
I think I do though,
He's about
because
third your
I
age.
think I do. It's just disgraceful. Also, he can't think that sort of behaviour is okay.
5 minutes added up.
If you're confused at what's going on, it's the first thumbnail on the YouTube channel, so make sure you check it out. That's Rory's face in the middle.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that by looking at it. You go, who's that geezer there?
You want to see?
Buvey, Adam, and who?
But you look great in it otherwise,
Why is
mate.
everyone going
You
mad?
look
Why is
fantastic.
everyone going mad?
Oh, Liverpool fans get aggy at nothing.
Klopp's. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Oh, saying
Right,
it's a
throw in.
that's a foul, then.
Calm down.
Even I can't stand him.
who?
Him, Klopp. Sore loser.
He's a great manager, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's good.
But
Good
I think his
that
time's
European
up, you know?
Cup record was
I think his
ridiculous.
time's up, you know.
European Cup final win, European Cup final again. Like that's
He's lost
amazing.
3 European Cup finals, mate. He's actually lost 4 European Cup finals. And he won 1. He's won
His
1
time's
European
up.
Cup final. I can't say anything as a City fan. It was against Spurs.
But he's always
He's
gone in.
against Spurs.
That's the only one that you would have expected him to win, though.
Spurs were happy to. When you were in Moscow against United, you were fighting for a Champions League final. Mate, Spurs were happy to beat. They won the Champions League by winning a semi-final.
embarrassing.
Yeah, that is
It was
true.
shocking.
That is
the
true.
Champions League final, both sides had not won a league in
But
30, 40, 50
Klopp
years.
has gone into every Champions League final, whether he's won or lost it. Apart from the one he's lost, in fact, he's gone into every final as an underdog.
Yeah, that's fair. But we had a Champions League final, Liverpool
lost
versus
too.
Spurs. Neither have been
He
champions.
lost, but he lost
At
to Real
Liverpool.
Madrid. Yeah, but to
He's
Real
at Liverpool. He's won one against Spurs.
Yeah,
Did he lose one with Dortmund?
yeah, Bayern
Against Bayern.
against Wembley. It was the biggest invasion of Germans ever, even World War
Yeah.
II.
Do you know what the biggest invasion? No.
Seriously,
No, it
there were
was.
more Germans on British territory than at any
It was.
point
It
in
was at
World War
Wembley.
One or two.
My whole area was completely full of Dortmund
Seriously?
fans. No, it was. Do you know what the biggest? Do you know? Do you know in 1997, right? Chelsea played. Chelsea played. Go on. Yes! Oh!
He's trying to square it.
No, why isn't he shot with his outside of his foot?
I thought he tried to
shoot.
square it.
He did shoot with his outside of his foot. It got
did?
blocked. It got blocked. He
No,
needed to
he
shoot earlier.
Oh, that's shocking.
God.
The touch out of his feet there.
Handball.
Mate, this is just two really bad football teams. That's all this is. It's just two really bad
Chelsea
teams.
have fallen over in the box at crucial times.
It's Chukwuemeka every time, and he's put like longer studs on. He's got the Astros on.
Remember Rooney did that to Terry and fucked him. Fucked himself as well, actually.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
but yeah.
In his
We said we
Met-
aren't going to do swearing and no violence, please. I don't want to be talking about people.
No, but mine
that's
common
nasty.
conversation,
That was
natural.
nasty. What Rooney did to Terry was nasty from him. All right,
It was deserved, though.
it was horrible.
You're allowed to do things like that to John Terry, I think. It's in the rules.
God.
What we
That
say,
was
Mudryk flop then, yeah?
A couple of dodgy touches. But it's banter.
He should have scored.
It's,
That
it's,
one,
it's
that-
shit
that one
banter
that
if
come
it's a
across.
15 million quid sign and it's a long-term prospect. Oh, for 80, 90 million quid, whatever it rises to. I know it's spread, but that should be instant impact. Touch, bang, roof of the net. That's what it used to be.
No, I agree.
We signed Sergio Aguero for 38 million quid. That was a lot of money. He scores 2 against Swansea in his first game and he changes the game.
Yeah, it's
against
tricky. It's
Swansea.
tricky to compare players to Aguero.
Of course, I'm not saying,
You know,
but even a little bit more than that.
You know,
I mean, Jesus, side netting.
I don't know. I think we've got to be patient with signings. You know, we've seen it at City loads of times. Yeah, you demonstrated a lot more patience with Ferran Torres than you are Mudryk.
No, I never liked him. Never liked him. Or
Who,
Eric
Ferran?
Garcia. Yeah, never liked him.
He's a good player.
No, he was. He's shot. They're trying to
He is
sell
a
him
good
now.
player. Arsenal,
They're trying to sell him
Arsenal,
now.
isn't it?
Whenever I see him
Go on.
Torres, he scored
Let him go
goals.
to Arsenal. He's a Europa League player.
Go on.
No, he's a good player.
Come on,
He's
man.
not at all. I think he's shocking.
That's poor from Conor Gallagher, man.
Just hold on
He's
to
been
it.
terrible.
After I said you were...
You got anything good to say about anything?
It's 0-0. It's our first stream. I'm looking for goals, lads. And your boys in particular have completely disappointed.
First podcast is on Wednesday, by the way, guys.
Oh my god!
Loads
Oh
of-
my god!
What was that?
Don't panic. It fouled to Darwin Núñez.
Sorry.
And we'll have loads of clips and stuff like that as well coming for you guys. Follow us on all our socials. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah.
TikToks were good.
You're gonna-
I enjoyed the
you're gonna-
TikToks. We were
You're
chatting
gonna-
about the
you're gonna-
offside.
You're going to back me on this? Yeah,
I back you massively, ad mate. I back you more than anyone. Seriously. I'm your biggest supporter in the room. I've been subscribed to
everyone else hates me.
I've been subscribed to Stratford Paddock for years, mate. You wouldn't believe it.
Thank you.
I was your OG for the Man United champion. 2013.
Stratford Paddock
For
OG.
real. When you got, what was it? You got smashed by Swansea, didn't you? And someone was crying outside the stadium when you filmed that. I was there loving it, mate.
Is that what happened? Is he right?
There was a video of some old man crying when Aaron Wan-Bissaka came in. He was crying and all that.
No, that wasn't my video.
Was that not you? Sorry, mate.
That was another video.
There was another one I
with
subscribed
another
to.
Asian man.
It was a good video, though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man.
This has been a long 5 minutes.
I've enjoyed today though.
it's been a decent 0-0
full time 0-0. A good result for me.
Yeah.
Keeps them both away from us.
Oh, you don't
especially
need
with
to
United
worry about that.
playing against Arsenal on Sunday. No, but if
You do, one of
Liverpool
them
or
could pick
Chelsea
up.
won and we drop points on Sunday, then
I thought Liverpool were dead certs for top 4.
I don't think Liverpool or Chelsea are. I don't think you need to think about Chelsea. Or Liverpool.
winning one of these games can be a catalyst.
Of course.
Yeah, true.
And United will drop points throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea would be what now? 10 points behind you?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
10
So
points.
top 4 now, it's obviously City guaranteed, Arsenal guaranteed.
Newcastle guaranteed.
Really?
Yeah. Newcastle get top 4.
I only say that with the squad, not the momentum or the
Newcastle
manager.
guaranteed
but the
top
squad.
4.
You know what the thing? I
know
wouldn't
what?
discount Spurs, and the only reason is because the reason I say that is, as it stands, look, Spurs ain't getting nothing. But with Kulusevski coming back from injury, Bentancur just returning. I think Bentancur is their most important player this season. You've got Kane, you've got Son. Kane and Son aren't going to stay this toothless for this long.
They are, though.
And if they go on a run, they could pull Newcastle back.
Mate, I think the top 4's done. I
So
don't
who's
think
the
there's.
fourth one? United.
I think there is
Newcastle United.
there is jeopardy around who finishes where
Yeah,
within the top 4. But in
Yeah.
terms of the 4 clubs to make it, I think Arsenal make it, City make it, Man United make it, and Newcastle make it.
I
We
think
can discuss who
Newcastle-
finishes where
I
and
think
what.
Newcastle, Spurs. I think Adam's right about Spurs. I think if they can click, don't forget we're only halfway through the season.
Tottenham aren't going to make it. Tottenham are more likely.
But it's look, Newcastle.
Tottenham are 5th,
might-
having played a game
6
more.
points off. They win
Having
games
played a
easy.
game more.
Bruno Guimaraes just got injured. Let's say he's out
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a month. I
Exactly.
don't know. I don't think he is. But let's say he's out
Mate,
for a
Tottenham
while.
are going to play in Europe. They've got distractions. Tottenham need to be more worried about Fulham and Brighton than they do.
I just
I
feel
know
if
what
they
you're trying
go
to
on
say,
a
but-
run with Kane's going to hit some semblance of form.
Yeah.
Kane's been in
Son's
form all
gonna-
season. Kane's been in form all
But
season.
Son hasn't. Kulusevski's been injured.
No,
Bentancur's been injured.
Son hasn't, but at some point he needs to be dropped. It's
Romero's
not about
come
him
back from
finding
the World
form. He
Cup.
needs to be out the team.
I
He
suppose
scored in
their
2
problem's their
games.
defence as well.
He
isn't it?
scored in 2
Well, they
games.
can't change the keeper. I mean, I'm thinking, why is he
Lloris
playing
is a
against, they can't play
shark.
Fraser Forster.
Yeah.
They can't play him. He's not good enough.
No.
Lloris is
No,
bottom
Fraser
level.
Forster
Forster
was
wasn't
better
good
than
enough
Lloris.
5 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to struggle. But I still think they got the squad, the manager. Newcastle. I remember what it was like at City when we had that first push. Remember the Peter Crouch header near post?
Yeah,
against Spurs?
yeah.
It was between. We were so far ahead, and we had a really good season, but we just fell off. It was just we didn't have the squad right. The following season, guaranteed top 4. Won the FA Cup, beat United in the semi-final of the FA Cup. It took another year.
You know what?
Who are you
Have
talking about
Newcastle.
needing the other year? Newcastle.
They might need another year to guarantee top 4.
No,
I
but
think they're
but
fantastic now,
the
but
only
they
thing
might
that's going to
fall
stop them, the only thing that would stop. Look, there is a world where Newcastle may not get to the level that they would need if there were a challenger.
Yeah.
But there isn't a challenger.
No one seems to be putting the pressure on.
Yeah, there isn't a challenger. You know,
But I think I agree with that. And it could be Spurs,
Yeah, Spurs
out of
could
nowhere.
turn it around.
It's a
Even
long
Liverpool
season still. It's a
Tottenham
long
can't.
season.
What on earth have you seen in Tottenham this season to suggest that they have the
They
ability
started
to
the
turn?
season well.
No, but
they?
Newcastle,
They did start the season
Newcastle
well.
had
Yeah, the
ability
first
to drop
5-6
points.
games or
I know
10
that
games.
was Sony.
We under Tuchel, and bearing in mind under Tuchel, we were getting battered by Leeds and Southampton. We played them off the park.
Yeah, but they still had the good results. They were still getting through. They got through the Champions League group. Somehow they got through that. I think it was Marseille, the final.
Yeah, they
group
played
game.
Marseille.
They were shocking. But yeah, Marseille's a decent side. So
And Frankfurt.
I'm not
wasn't
saying
it?
they play good football, but I think they'll get the results. They could get the results out of everyone.
I don't see it. I really don't. I just don't think that anybody can really put the pressure on Newcastle to stop them making it. Because all Newcastle are going to have to do to make it now is match Tottenham's result.
Yeah.
And Tottenham are going to be so fragile that they're going to drop enough points for Newcastle to, in my opinion, extend the league.
I think you are right. All I'm saying is we have to throw someone in the hat. Liverpool, I can't believe
no,
how
Liverpool
bad
and
they've
Chelsea
been.
won't do it.
Chelsea, unfortunately for
I tell you what. Tottenham, I'm discounting. I'm going to use my
veto.
You know what will
I'm
help
going to.
Newcastle?
I think we could talk about maybe Fulham or somebody
No,
else,
no.
an outsider doing it.
Top 4.
An outsider putting the pressure on are more likely.
So what are you basically saying? Conte's gone this season then?
Yeah.
Because surely that's what happened, right?
Yeah, I think he leaves. I don't
You
even
think he
necessarily-
walks?
I don't even
What's
think he
that?
makes the. I think there's a chance. it's more likely that he sees the season out. But it's not going to be a shock if he leaves today.
Because him not getting top 4 to Newcastle is abysmal, surely. Even if you try and give him excuses with the team and stuff.
No, it's been an abysmal. Look, you know how highly I rate Conte. You know I always back him. This isn't Conte's thing. Like, this isn't it. This isn't happening. It isn't working. And I actually think I would never have said this under any other circumstances. But I think Tottenham need to get rid of him as well now. You know, usually we go, they can't get rid of him. It's all on Conte. I think if I were a Tottenham fan, I'd go, do you know what? Thomas Tuchel's available.
Archer's available.
Yeah, you're done. I honestly...
Tuchel will go Spurs.
No, I don't think so. I'm talking about my perspective. If I were a Tottenham fan, mate, I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm going to get Zidane. That don't happen either. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're a Tottenham fan, you go, get Tuchel. We don't need all this stroppy behaviour from Conte. I think Conte's also, and obviously it's very sad, but Conte's been massively affected in events outside of football. Mihailovic, Vialli, like he's a fragile man at the moment.
Of course.
And it's coming across in the way that his team are playing football. I don't think that Tottenham are going to make
There's a few Newcastle fans telling me Bruno has travelled to Palace, although he's on the bench, so he's not as bad as it looked initially. So, Buvey, predict your top 4 then.
I think it'll be City, Arsenal, in no particular order. City, Arsenal. I think United definitely in there. Newcastle just, but I think it's a lot tighter than we're all given credit for.
With that order?
No, I disagree with Buvey's order. I'll do it in order then. I think Arsenal win the league, City finish second, third finish Manchester United, fourth finish Newcastle. But considerably. I don't think that there'll be 6 points clear in the top 4.
I think that's the one thing that's helping Newcastle is they're on a crest of a wave and Spurs are kind of on the way down.
Yeah.
And I think mood matters a lot, momentum matters a lot to teams, but pressure does as well. And once they're in that top 4, if they have that little cushion, it could rock them a little bit, especially if Spurs hit form. I agree with your lot's top 3. I do think City will win the league though. If Arsenal beat us tomorrow, then my opinion on that may change. But I think, because I don't think Arsenal will lose to City twice. But I think City, Arsenal, United. I think Newcastle as well, you know. Yeah. But I do think Spurs still are in it. I think there will be some sort of fight between Spurs and Newcastle.
They're in it. They're in it because they're in it because they're the next place team. But they're not in it in terms of any other logic. They're playing terribly. There's already a cushion. Newcastle have a game in hand. Tottenham are looking so fragile. Tottenham, look, it's all very well talking about how brilliant Man City were. And I did say at the beginning of this show, seminal moment of the season potentially. But it's also a seminal moment in the season for Tottenham. Like, City were great, and City have potentially changed the entire face of the title race. But that 12 minutes from Tottenham is terrible. Like, awful, abysmal, unacceptable. And that's Tottenham.
They had a good 45 minutes as well. The first half, they were fucking. They were.
But when it matters, but they got themselves into a lead and then they completely blew it up.
But we're not saying about Spurs having to be a 100-point team season. Or I don't think they were particularly good last season. I thought they were really hard to watch last season.
They got it because Arsenal
ground
fell
it out. Exactly.
No, and they beat Arsenal in the playoff.
Was it?
They beat Arsenal in the playoff. They had a playoff for it.
Well, I think Rory's right.
And then Arsenal capitulated at St James's Park.
Yeah, but Callum Wilson, Bruno, Botman. The spine's not there in terms of depth. They might get lucky and keep their players, and they're fantastic, Newcastle. I don't want them to fall out.
What's the depth at Tottenham like?
Huh?
What's the depth at Tottenham like?
I think you've got 3 potentially world-class finishers. Kulusevski can get a goal at any point. Kane. It's about getting goals. When you need a 1-0 win.
It's about conceding goals as well. It's about Hugo Lloris throwing the ball. It's about Hugo Lloris in a North London derby shoveling the ball into his own net off Bukayo Saka.
That's true. You're right. I think it's a mixture. When it's April the 13th, there's 6 games left in the Premier League title, and Kane nicks a 1-0 win. And Callum Wilson's injured, it's going to be tight.
When Callum Wilson's injured, Isaac's going to score.
Isaac now.
Isaac's going to score.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, we'll save this for the podcast. We have got a podcast coming out on Wednesday. So make sure you're keeping it locked to the club for all that. Join the club as well. We hit 25k subscribers. We obviously want to hit the moon and all that kind of chat in it. So
more than the moon, Mercury. That's far away in the galaxy and all that.
Like the video so we can hit 3,000 likes. That would be nice as well. Any messages from you, Pep?
Thank you very much. Yeah. We are so grateful and we really do appreciate your support on this new channel called The Club.
I think this is a lot. We've watched a 0-0. It's been great.
Yeah, it's true.
0-0. No goals so far in the club.
A dreadful mid-table clash and I've had a great time,
Apparently Boovy's missus wears Mercury trainers. But anyway.
I don't get the reference.
We'll see you later. The cheap trainers.
I only know it was a phone network.